The second one.
All
It
right.
is Wednesday, the 23rd of September 2020, and we're playing Star Trek.
Is that thing on?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I do like one of your dad's favourite lines of eventually all bleeding stops.
That's true.
That is
It
true.
is accurate. Absolutely 100% accurate.
Except perhaps in Japanese manga cartoons. Otherwise,
They will kill us multiple times.
yes.
Yes, well.
Where everyone has a blood fountain inside them. But
And they keep wasting it when they get turned on and puts out their nose.
Ew.
Sorry,
Well,
that's one
referencing
of their
something you
tropes
don't
of
want
how
to
they
know.
get aroused. They get
No,
nosebleeds.
no.
I don't know.
See? I told you you didn't want to know.
Why didn't you warn us earlier? like yelling stop or something.
In
any
Stop
case-
mentioning manga. There.
All
Okay.
right. Now, I'm not going to ask if anyone wants a
we can
rehash
try.
because it was
No.
2 weeks ago, so even if you...
No.
well, I definitely.
What happened to
agree
the
on.
Starship race?
Okay, well, we ran out
Did
of
we
time.
win?
Can we
Did we
start at the
win?
beginning?
Starting at the beginning, it's a very good place to start.
I insist on the beginning
You
and the
could have
middle
watched
and
the
the
You
end.
podcast.
really do
Are
insist.
they new guys?
In the beginning, the universe is 10,144 AD.
That's how I
The
opened my
Padishah
biscuits.
Emperor, my father, ruled
No,
the
that's
galaxy.
That's the wrong science
But
fiction.
that's the beginning.
Anyway,
Okay.
we had a Starship race.
You're shit
Previous-
at beginnings and
previously-
you're always all over the place.
Previously on Star Trek: The Ridiculous Role-Playing Game, the crew of the Tamworth have been sent to the Klingon homeworld for the annual. What did I call them again?
What?
Noch na.
Sorry,
Okay.
start again. Right?
The Tamworth was en route to the
haven't
Klingon
begun.
homeworld Kronos, where we are to take part in the 50th Stellar Games. As a statement of the value of the alliance to the Federation, some of Starfleet's elite vessels and crews have been directed to participate, and us as well. Okay, we are participating in an event, the Small Starship Pentathlon. The Tamworth has won every competition for the last half century, but it happens that the Klingons believe it to be a matter of honour for their ship, the Pach, to defeat us, and Starfleet decided that it would be very unsporting if we didn't at least give them the
Our
chance to compete.
ship is competing in the pentathlon.
Our ship is competing. It's the Small Starship Pentathlon. And you can tell it's a small starship because as we've arrived here at the Klingon homeworld, we have just gone into this gigantic docking bay. Okay, so meanwhile,
It's not that gigantic.
last
Can fit a
time,
ship in it.
What the hell?
We can fit a heap of shit in it.
It's so huge.
fits a starship. Yes.
Yes.
We could fit a ship in it. If it were bigger, we could fit more than one ship in it.
Well, look, it's the smallest type of starship in the Federation fleet, so this is obviously not going to fit larger ships. But anyway, so we were.
Kind of looks like a placoderm.
Miral Paris was.
Don't know. So I'm listening.
You were there.
Some morale.
Miral Paris. She is our quarter Klingon liaison officer.
Morale.
She's a character you'd know if you watched Star Trek Voyager.
Well, there's your problem.
Okay, but Miral. Well, you actually, if you watch Star Trek
okay.
Voyager,
Yeah,
you'd know her as a
okay.
baby. But,
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I didn't realise you'd made that link. Okay, good.
Yeah, Miral Paris is our. She's normally the chief security officer of the USS Kirk,
Just like a mum.
but she has consented to be
Is
our
my mum a terrorist?
protocol officer
Oh,
for
wow.
this event.
Not a
So she has
other
said to us, "Look, the
Might
Federation
be.
is the
Yeah,
Federation
she's
doesn't
trying to
mind
remember
whether we
the
win or
terrorist
lose,
organisation.
but as it happens,
just don't let
an
anything
honourable
go, do
win
you?
or an
You just
honourable
don't.
loss
I never let
on our
terrorism
part
go.
will achieve our objectives either way. It'll satisfy the honour of the Klingons."
Fair enough.
Okay, but she said that said, the Klingons are expecting us to do everything short of actually cheating to actually win. We're not allowed to cheat because that would be dishonourable, but everything else is fine.
Yeah, having a good, honest crack at it.
Yeah,
that is
that's
honourable.
right. So we were
maybe
given
a little bit
demon-
of cheating that we can get away with.
Demonstrates that we take this whole thing very, very seriously.
You know who complains about cheating? Losers. That's who. I don't have to worry.
That's a pretty Klingon attitude, actually.
People call it cheating.
Do you know who's comfortable with cheating? Sociopaths. Apparently feel no guilt at all.
I think I've found one of my traits.
Somehow have a sense of achievement despite the fact that they cheated. Like they couldn't do it on their own genuine skills and merits. And yet somehow they have a sense of achievement. What does that say about them?
Well, it says they've got a different
What
perspective.
if they think cheating is a skill?
They do.
Well,
They
that's
do.
what
the
Captain
problem.
Kirk thinks. Captain Kirk thinks there's no such thing as a no-win situation, so he was quite justified in cheating on the Kobayashi Maru.
Can my trouble concept therefore be whatever it takes?
I thought that
would be a
was
very
mine.
good. Oh, hang on. What's
Oh,
yours?
no, it's not actually.
Yes, it can be. Whatever
Okay.
it takes. That would be a
Alright.
good one.
Whatever it
That'll be
takes.
mine.
200,000 dead and Trump gets re-elected.
Ouch.
But
Jeez, that went dark.
it's going to be nearly 300,000 by Christmas.
Woohoo! The rate's actually going up again in America right now.
And in Sweden as well.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that.
Woohoo! It did start
We
going
cringed
down.
before your withering sarcasm.
It did start going
I
down.
need
Like,
pencil.
And then
But then they had an election.
but then it was in danger of being as high as it was in the first wavy bit. You know, I won't call
The
it full
first
wave
wavy
because they
bit.
never
Do
actually
you want a
stopped.
pen or a pencil
But
specific?
you know the peak they were in
no,
when
pencil,
everyone was
because I
scared?
got- Oh, no, a pen will do.
Yeah, pencil?
Sorry. No, I can just write on.
They were in danger of getting as low as that high, so then it started going back up again.
It was almost like they were saying, you know what? This not having people dying of COVID, it really sucks. Let's go with it. Anyway, let's... Now, we could either laugh or cry.
More
so
people
let's-
dead than the last 5 wars combined. Well, that's a statistic I heard today.
I thought they lost 500,000 in World War II.
No,
World War
that's
II's
not even
not
close to
being
the last
counted.
5 wars.
Oh, the last 5 wars they've had.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not sure what constitutes a war to Americans.
Last 5 wars. I don't know how else to say it. That surely is clear.
Haven't they been in a perpetual state of war with somebody somewhere since
You've
1950?
got a point
Yes.
there.
You have got a point as to when a war begins and ends, because I'm not sure. Are we still at war with Afghanistan? Is that a thing?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, we're not. We've never been at war with Afghanistan. That's not fair.
We've
Are
just
we
been in a
still
state
at
of
war with
conflict
the
in
Taliban?
Afghanistan, yeah.
Yes.
Are we still at war with the Taliban?
Do the Taliban know that we're still fighting them all?
And by me, I mean Australia. Because this is the thing I should know, but for some reason
I don't think we are.
I don't think we are.
If we are, we're not pushing it all that hard at the moment.
are there Australian soldiers in Afghanistan? There are.
Urban,
I think there's a
answer.
few.
Yes.
There are.
You've got your finger on the pulse of
Yes.
what's going
Of
on.
troop
Yeah,
deployment,
but
do
only,
you?
only mine.
He knows all about troop deployment. so-
Meanwhile,
Yeah, go on.
yes,
Oh, God, there's a game going on.
That's right, I know. Right? So because we were trying to give ourselves a bit of an edge, it was noted that we couldn't upgrade the impulse engine any further than it already is, because it's pretty much the fastest in Starfleet already, and it's been consistently upgraded. But there was options of how to.
I didn't realise we had such a good ship.
We don't. It's just got the
just
one
got-
thing that it's
Don't
got
get
good.
too excited.
It's got good impulse engines.
It's a trash
Everything
can-
else is trash.
can with the latest impulse engine.
That's pretty much it.
Well, we have won this competition
before.
700 times. or
Not
something.
us personally.
Well, this
ship-
No,
ship-
we have. We have.
Not us
We've
personally.
won it.
Our crew has not.
I thought we've never done this before.
No.
No,
No.
Oh, I got that from your description. I got the
no,
impression.
the ship
We
has.
did it
Tamworth
every
has.
time.
Oh,
The
no wonder
Tamworth
last
has-
time you were so relaxed about this.
Hang on. So we're all new to the table?
Yes.
Yes.
Three.
When we actually first started the campaign, we were all meeting on the ship for the first time, and you were taking over as captain.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Why? What happened to the previous crew?
They
Don't
all
ask.
died.
Don't ask.
It was Quark. He
Did
got
they die in the
promoted.
last competition?
Who knew? Who realised they had?
What did happen?
And
to
other
them?
questions you
I'm
shouldn't
going
be
to
asking.
assume that Azure did not do something friendly to them, which went awry.
No. We introduced Azure.
Right. Okay.
They did stop bleeding eventually.
Yep. That's
I
good
hate to
news.
disappoint everybody, but what happened was they reached the end of their tour and got paid off like every other crew.
Oh,
So
that's not as exciting as
Oh,
I
how
imagined.
prosaic.
most of the the everyday crew, the nameless ensigns that run everything are still the same guys who've been on the ship all the time. We just happen to be a new bridge crew. Okay, and in 3 missions, we've lost 1 bridge crew member, which, when you put it that way, is not a terribly.
But he was meant to
So
die.
basically, we worked with a whole bunch of people who
Remind
got
me, who
looked
was
over
that?
for a
The
promotion,
doctor.
and we just stepped into the bridge.
No,
Killed by bees.
no. Sorry to
And all the
break it to you.
underlings all stayed where they were.
The people who deserved promotion got promotion and got put into a real starship.
Okay, that's us.
We're basically the bottom end of Starfleet.
Oh, jeez.
We're not quite as low down as the lower decks crew, but on that sort of range.
In Starfleet circles, we're called the country music ship.
Country
How does
music.
that relate to birth of
Actually,
nation?
I will give you a little bit of a background
hoping
to the
it
ship
doesn't.
because I've told you this before, but it's worth repeating.
I have to relate it to something I understand.
The Tamworth the Tamworth, being an Oberth class ship, was built about the same time as the original USS Enterprise. She was slated for decommission. Now, the science ships tend to have long lives because they don't get into situations where they get destroyed most of the time. But she was slated for decommissioning. And then, for those of you who know your Star Trek history, the Battle of Wolf 359 occurred,
Yep.
which basically the Borg took Starfleet and turned it inside out.
Yep.
And as a result of that, a whole bunch of nearly dead and dying ships got reactivated because we needed them. And so we're now about 30 years after the Battle of Wolf 359, and Starfleet has just about finished replacing the losses from that. And so it is that the Tamworth is probably on her last cruise now.
Seriously? Okay.
Is
Oh,
this,
we're going to
like,
get a new ship
is
next
this
game.
like heat bricks on the space shuttle?
Yep.
It's made out of balsa.
That's probably a weird. Considering I've blown that image up enormously, it's probably
It's
a
a
speckling
standard
effect.
sci-fi thing. There's thick, different coloured plates on supposedly high-tech ships.
Well, they might just have replaced
It's
plates over time. It's like if you put a new car door on it,
Anyway,
They
just
on a
do it,
car, it's
give it
always
thick
slightly
stuff.
different colour.
Just
We're being
after a
put
lot
on
of
hold.
discussions about what we were going to upgrade, they were given 6 options and they chose 2.
You'll love this.
The upgrades were the primary sensor array, which will allow us when we do our race. By the way, the race, as it says, is a pentathlon, which basically means you're doing impulse travelling. There's also minor combat. There's
Javelin throw.
yeah,
Yep.
pretty much that sort of deal.
High jump.
Firing phases, all that kind of thing.
Right.
Long jump.
Okay, so as a result of the upgrades, the upgrades were highly successful, much more successful than they were supposed to be. But hey, never mind. And we have increased the detection range of the Tamworth enormously, and we also upgraded the con software, which had not been upgraded in years, and which resulted in stuff being randomly transported from the captain's underwear drawer every time somebody touched a control.
At least they were clean.
Just leave it. Just leave it. Just go on.
Not from your underwear basket.
That, by the way, was
What part about leave it didn't you get?
that, by the way, was a story conceit introduced by my younger daughter, who thought that was hilarious. Anyway, the other thing that happened before we got on, we did a quick dry run of the race.
Can you see me?
You will. You will.
Yeah, but you can't. I can see you, but you can't see me.
Oh God, I can see you.
Looking at the screen, you can actually see me.
You will be able to. It goes a little wider once it's up.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
talking about
It
his
goes
nightmare
wider.
speeder.
Yep.
Are we done? Anyway, yeah. So we
Explains the bedwetting.
we did a practice run of the
It's fault.
the race, just to see what happened, which would have been highly successful if it weren't for the fact that it got to the point where these guys had to go home, which probably did, I won't even be finished the recap before these guys have to go home now. But anyway, not to worry. Okay, so captain's log, please.
Ah!
Captain's log.
Keep this.
Okay, you read it out loud.
I will. I'd like to read it first, though.
He claims
So that you can have the right.
the right.
Captain's
Gravitas.
log supplemental. The Tamworth is docked at Race Station
Excellent.
Was worthwhile reading it to myself before.
And resort.
Captain's log supplemental. The Tamworth adopted the race station Amiga, orbiting Kronos. The excitement around us is palatable.
Palpable. Let's go with
Not palatable. I mean, it tastes good, but it also
It's palatable.
feels good.
This coffee is Palpatine.
As members of the other species competing in the games carry out their last-minute preparations,
I can taste victory.
the Tamworth has had upgrades to her primary sensor array, and her comm system is ready to race. Whilst we wait for the first heat, we are considering taking time to enjoy the comforts of the station.
So,
Nice.
you are at Race Station Omega. Now, this is the traditional name for the space dock from which starships for the Stellar Games events are based. It is, of course, usually an existing space dock which has been rented, commandeered, or repurposed for the job, and this is no exception. It is an elderly space station which dates back to the earliest period of Klingon interstellar travel, which is several centuries ago. It has gradually been rebuilt and extended until it now resembles a downside Klingon city in all its squalor and magnificence that implies. It is large enough that small starships like the Oberth-class Tamworth can easily be contained in sheltered hangar bays. Smaller craft like Klingon birds of prey and shuttles are actually able to land inside. Larger starships like the ones competing in the Warpcraft events are attached by more conventional docking tubes. When you disembark from the Tamworth, you are carrying the standard tools that a Starfleet crew would have, phasers and tricorders. Now, I need to talk to you guys about weapons before we get off the ship.
Is this the captain speaking?
No, this
Right.
is stuff that you would know if you were
Okay.
walking off.
Right, okay.
Now, normally when crews are participating in the Stellar Games, it would be normal to walk around without weapons.
Yeah, makes sense.
This, however, is a Klingon station, and walking around without weapons on a Klingon station is bad manners.
Oh, well, can I take like the battler thing?
You could, except you don't have one.
No, okay.
But hey, you know, you're going to have opportunities when you're when you're in the shops and so forth. Why not buy yourself a bat'leth as a memento of your as your
This
stay
is a
here?
brilliant idea. I think I will.
But we're not doing that right now. Anyway, so I'm assuming that you're carrying your tricorder and your phaser. That's just what you'd normally be carrying. Now, as a compromise, because it is a peaceful event, the upper layers of the space station have been treated with have been fitted with a dampening field which prevents lethal weapons from being used.
Okay.
Prevents lethal energy weapons being used.
Yeah, so
Your phasers
can walk
are-
around with their knives and still stab people.
Yeah, that's right.
Great.
The phasers are still can be used to stun people, but they can't be used to kill.
Okay.
The reason that can be operated at all and isn't just impounded is because Klingons think that's a silly thing. You know, they say, no, you've got to have weapons that can at least do something.
Okay.
Okay, so you're carrying your tricorder, which is your portable scanning device if you're not a Star Trek fan, and you're carrying your phaser, that's the usual stuff.
What's my equip? Doesn't seem to say anything about my equip.
Well, the reason for that is because the Fate
Doesn't
role-playing
vary.
system assumes that you've got the stuff to do the things you want to do things with.
Okay.
Okay, but for whatever purposes, I'm just assuming you've got your phaser and tricorder at all times, unless you've had it knocked out of your hand or something. If you want anything else, if you're going to carry anything else with you, now's the time to talk about that.
I want
You got no pockets. You can't
to
take.
carry a traditional club of my Sudanese ancestors.
What the hell?
With
If you-
like carving on it.
That's actually not a bad idea at all. I'm happy to allow that.
Why would you carry that around?
Because you're on a Klingon space station.
So
Right.
usually on the wall,
I was-
but I've decided to go.
Alright.
I was going to ask. I actually thought my carrot had a Catania.
Katana?
Yes.
That's the one. Well, it's perfectly in character for you to carry
Sure.
an edged weapon.
Sling it
around
across
here.
your back. Don't do it.
Backscabbard!
Yep. No, it's gonna be.
And look, let's
No,
face
you
it.
don't pull it out that way, you idiot. You'll cut your neck.
If
put it in Jatto.
Actually,
I
a
could pull it out that way,
backstab. Now that I think about it, a backscabbard is an inherently stupid idea.
Yes.
Dislocate your shoulder.
This is one of the
and
things
your
they talk
arm.
about with
dislocate your shoulder.
role-playing things. They don't exist. They're good for carrying, but to actually unsheath them, you actually have to take the scabbard off and then pull the sword out. You don't unsheath it like that. No, 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 no.
Unless you like the new name of Topless Bill or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, be that as it may, so that's the current state of play. You are okay.
Or you have a telescopic arm.
You can carry things like that. Your katana, your
That way.
knobkerry,
And the blade
whatever it is.
facing that way. No, go on.
You can carry these things because on the Klingon homeworld and indeed this station, which is operating on Klingon rules, basically you count as when you would count as politely dressed rather than heavily armed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if anyone else has got anything else they'd like to
Wear it on
carry,
your side.
Of course, I'll wear it on my side. It'll be tucked into my belt.
well, you see, here's the thing.
Style.
This is where Klingon
Wear a
culture
sash.
works for you. This is where Klingon culture works for you because they're not into concealed carry. No, you carry your weapons openly. So where it's convenient.
Also in Texas.
Pull out your AR-15 and point them at black protesters.
Think
I'm
more-
trying to remember whether or not Vulcans have a ceremonial
While screening
dagger.
all
Or
lines-
No, they
the
don't.
Romulans.
Vulcans are much more likely to
Especially
use
mine.
nerve pinches and things like that.
Okay, right.
Yep.
And my guns.
Okay, so
Ray's character is going to paint half his face up in war paint. It's Maori war paint.
Oh, that's right. He's
That
New
makes
Zealander.
sense.
Yeah. It's
Yep.
going to look really
he's wearing his
Oh.
Palmahu.
badass,
You should
war
take
paint.
one of those huge Maori club things.
Yeah,
they
you
have.
might as well have a Mary Club with you.
I'm going to wear one of those tikis though.
Okay.
Okay, so
Tucked
he's
under my.
so he's wearing his tiki. That's going to really scare the Klingons.
It should.
Bloody
It should.
tikis are scary, mate.
Okay, right.
Wait
So
till I yell the haka at them. That'll get them.
all right. Let me see. Who am I going to pick on?
There you go.
That's
There you go. There he is. Fear.
Oh, the
Fear this.
Okay, 6 is roll again.
Isn't he beautiful?
Isn't that the thing that cursed the Brady
What
one?
about
You
which
take a
one?
you
Which
take a
one?
notice check.
Which character?
Actually, we've got Ray as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
So no, it's you. Take a notice check.
Is it? Do I roll four?
Roll
about that
four
one.
dice compared. Okay, so there's your notice. You've got good notice.
I've got good notes.
So I add 2 to 3. Is that what happens?
No, you had
No.
No, I add 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Yep. So you've
Which
got
is
4.
It's 4. Congratulations,
That's a-
you've done math.
You've done awesomely. Now I need a coin. Has anyone got a coin?
You
Sorry.
could roll a 6.
You have these things.
No, I need a coin that I can flip.
You
Sorry.
can flip these things.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll
I got
the die.
No, hang on, I've got one in my pocket.
Take one of the fate ones. If it's got a plus or a minus, it's odds. If
Okay, righto.
It's
No,
even.
he wants to do it more elaborately if at all possible.
We'll need
Okay,
that later, I'll put it beside.
so you guys can stand.
Don't take
Here is the gangway for the ship.
Oh God, we're
How many
falling
of
over
us are
already.
there?
Everybody.
And by the way, you're kind of just coming out, and you're not in parade ground rest. Okay, so you notice a Ferengi dressed in elaborate,
No,
expensive
you're-
clothing, who is looking at you meaningfully and waving at you. You also notice a Klingon standing near the crew gangway.
No,
We're
it's
surrounded.
It's
Same
multiple
way.
choice.
Another Klingon
No, here we go.
Now we're definitely surrounded.
is down near the maintenance gang. Is down in the maintenance
Sorry,
gangway, which
I'll
is
move on.
I'm declaring it to be over here.
Alright. Don't have the forward.
At the same time, a Romulan is trying to look invisible over here.
Were these already painted or did you paint
I
them?
painted them.
Jesus. Okay, I'm going to give you my figures you can paint.
Okay, you have a split second to decide which of these people, if any, you approach, and you don't have time to challenge them all, just one.
The Ferengi.
Which one's me? Is
The
it
Ferengi.
me?
What's this guy? What's this? What's
He's a
That's the
Romulan.
Romulan
Okay.
lurking in the background.
Lurking in the background, trying to look
The
invisible, which
Ferengi
is
is
what
probably,
Romulans
probably
kind
trying
of
to
do.
fleece the ship or something. Yeah, just don't trust him.
Dude.
I reckon.
I have no personal skills.
Okay, assumption point. You can assume that all of these have got something to do with your opponents. Of course, they're trying to fleece you something.
No.
So, which guys are you guys going to challenge or talk to?
You're the talkative one. You talk to them.
Am I talkative?
go, Captain Chit Chat.
Yeah,
You want to talk to him?
yeah.
Do we all have to go to the one person?
It's going to be one. Okay, this. You are about to decide which of 3 adventures you're going to go on now. They are all completely equal.
Choose wisely.
Choose. Well, okay. Here's the thing. You're going to choose one now, but the others will follow afterwards.
Get
so
the
kind
way
of doesn't
you.
matter.
You want to do the Klingon one?
Yeah.
Okay. We talk to this guy.
Talk to the
Okay.
Is
Flip
this
the
you?
page
Oh, this
like
is you.
this.
You've got a tail, so that can be you. And whoever this is.
It's choose your own adventure. Choose your own
That's a
adventure.
woman, so that's
Wow,
not
there's
me.
a lot of Klingon, a lot of adventures before I get to the Klingon.
Choose your own
Um,
adventure.
I think this is me, but I'm not sure.
Choose.
This is me.
Simply because
This
the colour
is
of my
me.
shirt here, which is kind of a khaki
It's
green
not in a
colour.
square. It's not in a square.
So which
Oh,
Klingon
Jesus.
you're approaching that Klingon there? Are you? Okay. The Klingon.
Ambiguity.
The Klingon. You talked. You start talking to the Klingon, who stands at you, looks nobly, nods his head, and says, "Nukne, honoured opponents. I am Captain Clag of the Pa.
Oh, cool.
It is my understanding that you are the highest placed crew for the Starship Impulse Biathlon. Since we are similarly highly placed, it is likely that the final will be between our ships. Once we would have joined in glorious battle. Now we fight other foes side by side, yet this glorious competition allows us to prove our mettle against each other just the same. My crew and I would be honored if you would celebrate with us. Tomorrow we will be opponents, but tonight the blood wine will flow."
Nice.
What's blood wine made out of?
Blood and wine. All right.
Funny you should ask that.
You mentioned blood, I think. From
Give me a
something.
moment.
Oh, no.
Yes, hang on a moment. Blood. Okay. Blood wine is the normal Klingon intoxicant.
That
Tiger juice.
But that's
Be
not
warned.
answering his question.
Be warned, Klingons have a very high tolerance for alcohol. Okay?
But is it made out of squeezed tribbles?
We've never actually been told that. Oh, that was one thing that I didn't mention before. A tribble appeared when they were trying to fix the
No.
Yep, you did.
Don't worry, I killed it.
He killed it. He just phased it straight away.
poor bloody tribble. Didn't stand a chance.
Yes.
He got barbecued on the
Oh,
spot.
God, saved
Yes.
our lives. We were going to die, clearly.
You will live forever in honor. Anyway. Okay, so, yeah, blood wine is the normal Klingon intoxicant. It presumably has blood in it and it's kind of wine-like, but you constantly see it in Star Trek story. Whenever a Klingon is sitting
Blood
and
wine.
relaxing, he takes a mug of blood wine.
A mug.
A mug. It's usually a metal mug with rings moulded around it, and it often has steam coming at it. So, yeah, their wine's a bit.
Oh, they like to warm it up and put some spices in it because it's mulled. Mulled
Sounds like
blood
a-
wine.
like black.
Okay.
Like a nice mulled wine. To be honest, if you heat it up, you lose some of the alcohol content.
Now, so you have received your invitation. How do you respond to your invitation?
I look forward to it.
All right.
Looks like we're going.
Okay. And in fact, your captain is wise because your captain knows his Klingon culture quite well.
Are we leaving someone to look after the ship while this is
You
going
can
on?
if you wish.
Aren't there other crew on the ship? We didn't, disembark everybody.
Well, the thing is that
Well, I
normally you
prefer to
wouldn't,
put-
but because it's in a
On the bridge.
protected bay, the Tamworth can actually be completely shut down.
You should still.
I want that security detail to protect the ship at all times.
How big is our crew?
It being
Rough
a small
order of
starship,
seven.
about 100. Okay.
It's not just us then.
Not
Oh,
just
It used to be 100, but we killed 93 of them.
you can do it with
Only
a crew
7 of
that's
us left.
dispensable. A crew
Does that
that's
include
dispensable.
us?
The 7 who survived.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only the ones who still have faces were truly saved.
If
What?
Captain, if you can roll for diplomacy.
Oi.
Oh, hey, maxed out.
Damn. Okay.
7.
Right. Okay. Yes, I do have one for that.
He's very diplomatic.
Not only does the captain remember the cultural context of this celebration and understand that this is an absolutely normal thing to expect of a Klingon opponent in any kind of challenge, he even remembers the traditional Klingon reply to such an invitation, which is "Noch net chach daj gizmach niterbach,"
You know.
which literally means "Thank you. May we scare your enemies together." To which Captain Clegg bows and says, "Your accent is quite impressive."
What I can see is the Romulan doing Kilroy watching this happen.
Okay, so most of the crew are enjoying R&R, but I take it you're having a security detail watch over the ship. Very wise. Okay, now from here, the images we've got here are kind of not relevant, so just we're free falling from here. So the crew follow the Klingons. You are taken deep into the stations, past many twists and turns.
Oh, did we leave breadcrumbs?
The further into the station you
There's
go,
probably too drunk for breadcrumbs.
the fewer non-Klingons you see. Within a few minutes, you are in a part of the station where it is obvious that non-Klingons simply do not frequent. Even member species of the Klingon Empire, such as Gorn, Nausicaans, and Orions, are simply not here.
So this is like total Klingon.
It's just Klingons.
Okay. All right, we're
And as
fine.
you pass
Everything is
Klingons,
fine.
you frequently draw stares.
Didn't we all die in that holodeck scene?
Yep.
Having to talk about?
Yep, let's not bring that up.
No, I killed 3 of them and you all died.
This is true.
They started with a
Sounds
holodeck
more
simulation of a bar fight in the Klingon homeworld.
Oh,
Now
did
we
you
know
do
why.
Well, because I thought it was a fun way to start the story.
I think I
Now, are
killed 2
we
of them.
at the moment? Are we actually heading for a specific destination, or are we simply wandering with? Simply
We're following
made-
them
We're just following
following
them.
to the
Klingon.
venue they're having their party at. Is Muriel still with us?
Miral, no, she transferred back onto the Kirk.
Okay.
Sorry, I was meant to say that. Okay, so now when you're looking through this area, roll for notice.
All of us.
All of you, roll for notice.
3, 4.
Oh no! Oh no!
9.
Can
Oh,
I-
sorry, mate.
I'll just move
That's
this guy
okay.
now that we're past this.
Yep.
So up, I got
I got 4, and Ray, what's he got for notice?
I got 2.
Oh, he's only got 1. 4. No, Ray got 0. I got 4.
Is that the best we got? Okay. Now, most of you kind of just look around and you just see Klingons, but Lieutenant Crusher happens to notice more. He's noticed that some of the funny with that particular action you just did there,
Yes.
because what you've noticed is that some of the Klingons have the familiar ridged forehead and long hair that you're used to with the leathery uniform. But as you go further down, you're noticing a few Klingons who have smooth foreheads.
Oh, not these guys.
Like Star Trek Discovery.
And no, you've
No,
got
original
You're seeing those as well. You see some of them with the elongated head
Okay.
and the extremely deep ridged
Yeah.
forehead. That was that.
Are you
Some of,
talking original series?
some of them are the original series
Gee.
Klingons.
Whatever.
Some of them are the Discovery style Klingons. Does anyone comment about this to Captain Clegg?
Yeah, I just go, Captain, there's lots of different
Varieties.
species of Klingons here, if you noticed.
He nods and says, "Your kind seldom venture here. Take pride. You are the first aliens to walk these particular corridors in over 2 centuries."
Wow,
Ooh.
that seems
We're very honoured, Captain.
that seems unnecessary.
But let's just go with it.
A Klingon nearby
Mm-hmm.
steps up to the captain.
Excellent.
Says, "Hadibach div chaksovach kudvach haj kastahij vatlij vast kej bug bag me
That's when we got COVID.
Yeah,
Roll,
what do you say?
Roll for diplomacy.
We'll scare the shit out of him. -1. So
Okay,
three.
what's your diplomacy?
Sorry, just trying to work it out.
3. It'll be 3 now.
3. Okay, that's good enough. You understand that he says, Federation filth, you have no place in these honoured halls. Prepare yourself for glorious battle. Captain Clegg looks in the direction of this altercation, but does not intervene.
Hang on, he's not standing next to us?
He's ahead of you. Hears this going on. He walks up, but doesn't intervene.
Can you kill him?
Now, how do you react to this situation?
I'm happy for
Are you ordering me
Really?
to kill him?
Really? We're gonna kill him.
You should
happy for Lomax to take care of this fight.
Oh, shit.
You're security, aren't
Do
you?
we need to have
Although
a
I
fight?
could easily destroy this person, perhaps we should choose another course of action.
Should we de-escalate in any way?
No, this is what Klingons like to do. They like to have battles,
punch
and
him.
it's
Go on, punch him. Go
honourable.
on, do
And I'm assuming if it weren't the case,
can I
then
just point out
because
something?
I get quite well with the
I'm going to
diplomacy,
say
I
something
would know
here.
that
As the captain, it's not just as the captain, as a person who knows Klingons fairly well, you know that's not a good idea.
yeah, we should definitely not fight Klingons. They
No, no,
do
no.
not like being fought.
No, that's not the point. The
That's
point
not
is,
the point. Hang on.
the point is he's attacking you.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't really do anything because I have no fighting abilities. really.
Okay, so what do you do?
Nothing, I guess. I go like this. No, please! I don't want to fight.
Oh no.
Well, I can't really fight.
They look reasonable.
Use pointed insults and tell him that we're going to be on the
Is
field
one
of battle
them- is
tomorrow
one of
for
them
the
pushing
the
eye
race.
sockets out of the dead one. What's going
What's that,
on?
sorry? What are you showing?
Yeah, they're wishing him to Klingon
Yeah.
heaven.
It's happy
When
birthday.
he dies,
that, yes.
when they die,
They sing happy birthday.
They do a yell to warn the people in Klingon
To warn the
heaven
spirits that a Klingon warrior is
on the
on
black
coming.
fleet.
exactly
yes.
what I just said.
And then, when you ask, what do we do with the body, they look at it contemptuously and say it is a shell, dispose of it as you wish.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so,
Tell him we haven't got time for this anymore.
Well, I tell him I've got no time for insecure Klingons who think they have to fight every person who walks past.
Yeah, there you
okay. So the Klingon hears this.
Which Klingon?
The
Because
one
there's
that's-
millions
one that's
of
attacking
Klingons
you.
around us.
Well, he's not attacking. He's just being.
Aggressive.
Well, sorry, he was being aggressive,
Yeah.
but upon hearing this, he draws his tag, his three-pointed dagger, and he comes screaming towards you, and swings his tag straight at you.
Okay, duck out of the way.
No, I'm not going to do anything.
You're going to let
I
him
raise
stab
my
you.
hand. I already told him I'm not going to fight him. If he attacks me, he's being pretty dishonourable.
You told him that.
Basically, what I just said a second ago.
Okay, good. Okay. At this point, the Klingon suddenly, his eyes widen, and he falls to the ground.
Oh, someone's killed him.
If you look at him, there is a large disruptor hole in his chest.
I thought disruptors didn't work.
What? No, why? Why?
No, we're in
Wasn't
the
there some
I think
thing-
we're in a
That's
different
on the
spot.
upper decks. We're not on the
I
upper
think-
decks.
I
We're
think we're
down,
in a
down,
different
doody,
spot.
doo, down, down.
Oh, okay.
Captain Clegg stands there with a smoking disruptor.
Down, doo-doo-doo. That seemed a little
This will
unnecessary.
be problematic.
He says,
later.
"These aliens are under my protection, honorless Betah. If you wish to complain, you shall answer to my blade." You look around you and you see the
Or perhaps he's
Klingons
disruptor.
backing off just a little.
Perhaps he's disruptor B.
Clegg looks at you and says,
His chest remover gun.
"I do not know what you are playing at, Captain. That was either very brave or very foolish."
Well, obviously the brave one. What do you think? I just say foolish things. Well, actually, that's true.
That's-
Well, but
don't say that. Don't,
Well, you
don't
did
say
nearly get yourself killed. I mean, you know, I had to rescue you with the captain.
there's not really. There's no recourse for me in being attacked. Really.
Could have slapped him in the face or something. But anyway.
That probably would have helped against whatever the gigantic sword thing that he was
The
wielding coming down at me.
the three-pronged
My only
blade.
choice here was somebody else taking care of the problem.
At the time you drew his sword, you could have taken out your katana and cut his hands off.
Do you have wiener points?
I was thinking, but I didn't. I was like,
What the hell did you bring it for?
Don't I?
What the hell did you bring it for? Your captain was about to be attacked. Are you security or not?
Insecurity.
No, you did fine. You did fine.
However,
you knew he had a
This
handle
whole
on
thing
it.
is about trying to deal with a species.
You knew he was right.
Really.
You would have stepped in if you really thought he was in trouble,
Yeah,
wouldn't
of
you?
course I would.
You would, wouldn't
however,
It's just a Tuesday
I
afternoon
did
in the
not
library, isn't it?
deliberately try to
Captain
keep his
Clegg-
character killed.
Captain Clegg did take note of the fact that you understood that it was a matter of honour, and he nods at you on this one. That he recognises that this is a point in your favour, and he says, "Perhaps you understand our ways better than it seems." Okay.
Or not.
There. Well, that little altercation didn't go the direction I was thinking it was going to go, but never mind. Had to work that one out on the fly.
I assumed it was like a one-to-one point of honor thing, and if I intervened, it would have.
Oh, it might have looked like he was a wussy boy. Someone else
The
has to say,
wussy boy
I
needed
don't
to be
know.
rescued by his
Take
little
care
wussy
of him.
boys.
I should
No,
say.
look, to be technical, there is precedent in if you're attacked by a Klingon to absolutely do nothing, because the other Klingons will be upset that this guy attacked someone who is not able or willing to engage in a battle.
Okay.
It
It
makes
is-
that Klingon appear bad.
It makes him appear dishonourable, yeah. So anyway, Clegg says you would be wise to be prepared for any other fools. I have placed your defence under my name, so you should not be touched. But keep your
Even if we
weapons
meet
nearby
female
as a
queens?
precaution.
Yes, Captain.
This is rough bar. Why did
Isn't
we
it?
come here?
Rough bar.
Rough bar, mate.
We've
And you haven't
accepted
even
the party-
arrived at the bar yet.
No, this is on
We've
the way to
accepted
the
the
bar.
party invitation.
But
I thought we were
funny
in the
you
bar. Where are we?
We're still getting
you're deep down in the
We're just in the
Klingon-
streets.
There's going to be Klingon women in this bar that'll beat the crap out
I
of
was
you
about to say, we're not
and
going to
bite
get on
you
the
and
women.
enjoy it.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why I'm going.
Oh, I keep forgetting you're a cat. You like
It's the
those sorts of
biting.
things.
That's the biting and the
Yes,
licking
mate.
I like.
A licking is good.
Oh, my
That's
dang little
true.
daughter again.
That's not COVID.
Stop
safe.
it. You just made that shit up.
With their
I did
rough
not.
tongues.
He did.
Okay. No further incidents occur
Hairball.
until you reach Hairballs. That's the name of the bar. Hairballs. No.
That's a good name for a bar.
Great name for a bar.
Sounds really Klingon.
Okay. Meanwhile, you reach a dingy-looking establishment, which turns out to be a small bar and restaurant.
Oh, it's restaurant. I'm not eating here.
Oh, do they do cabaret?
No, but they'll do live food, literally.
The captain turns to them and says, "This is my crew's preferred eating and drinking establishment.
Okay, good.
It looks poorly, but the chef serves excellent food and fine blood
So
wine."
this show is fantastic. Yep.
When you arrive, the crew,
The karaoke is.
You just said show.
I know.
Oh, you think it might be like a sophisticated puppet show?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
You're the one that said show.
You did.
the crew of the pa are already here.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Go.
The crew of the pa are already here. They turn and stare at the Starfleet officers, but they stand and bow. The captain introduces them one by one. This is my first officer, my chief of security, my tactical officer, my helmsman, targeting officer, and operations officer.
Do we know like a Klingon salute? Is it like?
where's
Yep.
the science officer?
Oh God, they don't believe in signs.
Well, they,
Surely
yes,
they
they
do.
do.
The captain looks at you, nods, and says,
He died
"My combat signals officer
of COVID.
is unable to attend this evening.
Testing out a new
He sends his
vaccine.
apologies.
The signals officer, okay.
Our combat signals officer is unable to attend this evening. He sends his apologies and asks for me to convey his deep desire
Does this mean
that
David
we
and
will
Owen
prevail
combat
against you in
signals?
honourable race.
Yeah, no, I think I bet. Oh, yeah, thanks so much.
So-
there's another reminder probably.
Oh dear, what are we being
Who
reminded
from?
of?
Take it.
Himself, it's like a diary. Or
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will.
I was worried that your wife or one of your kids might be spying on you. Has Dad taken his medications?
Oh, what are you doing? What are you taking? Drugs?
My
Your
diabetes.
diabetes medication. Now everyone knows because I said it out loud
Oh, thanks. You publicly embarrassed me in front of 3 people.
in front of the rush bots.
At work, we were told not to mention Urban's asthma in front of him at a meeting.
What does that make it worse? Does it?
I have no idea. I wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there.
It's interesting to hear this stuff afterwards.
It was bizarre.
Well, I mean, there's time. Sometimes it's, you know, it depends on who else is in the room at the time.
As Urban said when I first told him about this, I want as many people to know as possible I have asthma in case something happens.
That would be
I
logical.
would really like to avoid, dropping dead from an asthma attack. I mean, it's got me crazy here.
Yes.
But,
All right.
it's like in some cases it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the
Thought that counts?
not the privilege, but the prerogative. That's the word of someone to communicate, something personal about them before other people do it for them.
Well, management literally told everybody.
Under
So
most cases. Yeah, depends on what it is.
But I just find that fascinating that you weren't particularly the one who didn't want it to be mentioned.
I have no idea. I don't know what the context of these things. I don't know what.
they felt you might be discriminated against if we all ran up and pointed and laughed at you, yelling, "You have asthma." I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, I have no idea what the
There's-
context
there's
is.
no
so
log-
I wouldn't.
It was just
I
a
wouldn't
s-
pass any
It
judgment.
was a
on.
staff meeting, and it just came out, and they
It might
said,
just be a disability thing. It's like just saying, don't blab about other people's disabilities without
Could be.
asking them first.
For example, Urban
Yeah,
and
for
his
example,
asthma.
Urban's
And his
This is an example, but we're not saying particularly. That's
Do you know?
If
I'm going to tell you
worded like
why
that.
he qualifies for this. Just so you all know.
so you'll know.
It's just embarrassing, like they said, and like Urban, he's impotent, but we don't talk about it.
But never mention it to
Never
him,
do-
okay?
Don't say that.
And
you know.
please, my God, don't get a funny look on your face next time you see him either.
Oh,
and remember, it's not catching.
stop walking around like this, looking at him.
That's right.
He hates
Don't
us.
just start crying when you see him next time.
Oh God!
Because he'll probably wonder why and he'll ask you.
He hates the nickname Limp Dick. Don't use it.
Do not
Don't use
Old
it.
Limpy.
Yeah. Mr. Softy.
Meanwhile,
Oh, he's not going to live. Oh.
I have it on good authority. It doesn't happen all the
All the
time.
time. No.
Oh yeah, it is asthmatic, don't mention that.
Yeah. And suffers from performance anxiety. But don't mention it.
Don't say anything.
I think I
No.
got away with it before, but
Especially what happened last week. Don't mention
Exactly. When that load of wood came in and everybody made those comments.
that. We're doing a really good job of demonstrating.
An
I
example.
hope we're paying attention here. You'll learn.
I was thinking of showing the kids at school
about
our role
about-
playing
Well, you
games, but I'm just
should.
like,
No,
you should so not.
inward
Well,
diplomacy.
do not.
If they want to see this section, it'll be when Urban sues us and it'll be played in court. So don't worry about it. They can come along and watch them.
Meanwhile,
I think we're just making a very important, if
If you say point, I will cry.
or overcooked
What?
Metaphor.
demonstration.
Okay.
Example.
Example.
right. Meanwhile, back at the game, you sit down. You sit down with your Klingon opposite numbers. At first, as always, it's a little bit awkward, but after a while, there's a bit of small talk, a bit of shop talk, and you get to know the other officers. What would you be talking about? So if you've got the opportunity to talk to your Klingon opposite number or some
Except
other,
I don't.
so
What?
So
I don't get to talk to their combat signals officer, do I? No.
Maybe there's a non-combat signals officer there. You could talk to them.
I will talk about games of strategy and chance.
okay.
You're going to talk about Go.
No, chess.
Yeah, you get a fate point for coming up with an
It wouldn't be
appropriate
fun for
conversation
cities.
topic.
Actually, yeah, why didn't I do that?
Klingons would love Risk.
Oh, they love the shit.
You should have a game with him. Set it up.
Is anybody else going to tell us what they were talking with their Klingon opposite? Because he got a fate point for that.
I'm talking.
arts.
Martial arts.
There's
Klingons
no
are into that.
There's no chance in chess at all. What am I
I'm talking about how fast I've ever flown.
You get a bit of a stare from the Klingon who's like,
Therefore, I'm talking about Risk instead.
Drugs, man.
But,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
we all work on warp capable starships.
Yeah. I've flown a
I
warp.
talked to the captain about my history on
Two.
That's not fast.
Once,
I
I,
just threw
went
something
down
at
the
you and
hills
went somewhere
on
else.
my
I
bicycle
believe it's
There it is.
without training wheels.
Anybody else got anything they?
I presume with the conversation will start at talking shop for comms and simply then wander
I
off
once
wherever.
ride my own
Which is
steed.
appropriate, but I'm not giving a fate point for that. Okay, righto. Now, the chef.
Ray's character,
Yes.
because I'm talking to the other engineer.
Oh, here we go.
The engineer isn't here either.
Oh,
That's interesting.
It is.
why is he's not? Well, I'll go off.
I'm sorry.
Hmm.
The engineer has Rapakungo.
Who's telling me this?
Just the nearest Klingon.
Oh, okay. So whoever this nearest Klingon is,
And then
I go.
Oreos.
Oh, bro, that's a shame. I got all dressed up for nothing. Then these are my tribal paintings.
They are very impressive.
That
What do they mean?
They mean no honor without sacrifice.
I understand.
And you've got they.
Oh, Jesus, Saxon.
Killed it.
What,
I had
what did
murder
you
and-
expect? You stabbed it with a pen.
I was aiming for the space between the
Do
cookies.
you want to finish the bit you've destroyed?
Yeah, you should
Probably.
probably eat the ones you put ink through.
Okay.
Okay.
Please
Yep.
continue your discussion.
I'll give Ray a fate point.
Oh,
for that.
good. There you go.
What did I miss? Do I want to know? Okay.
Somebody else has to explain. I can't.
Don't point at me.
Okay, whatever. Meanwhile, the great fanfare, the chef comes out from behind the bar. And he declares to you that the meal that we are about to share... Because not all Klingons have deep voices.
Okay.
Been served by Mickey Mouse.
I'm going to use my normal voice so that I don't destroy my throat altogether.
Mickey Mouse. I've got to. Pluto! I used to be able to.
The meal that you are about...
Bronchitis.
The meal that you are about to receive has been
Klingon Lord, make it
bought for you by the the crew of the park. They asked me to provide with you.
They're trying to make us fat, Neil.
Nah.
They asked me to
We're
provide
fine.
you with a meal
Klingons.
that was
they're gonna be
fit for the best of the Klingon homeworld.
Romulans,
So
on the other,
you
we
have
do
a
everything
choice.
inside.
We'd all be like the Valmy.
You have a choice. The meals that are here.
This is the Valmy.
Your choice. I will give you 5 choices. You pick which one you're going to go for
to eat.
to eat.
Yeah, go.
Your choices are Gach, Heart of Targ, Pipius Claw, Rokeg Blood Pie, and Breget Lung.
I'm going to have heart of
You're living dangerous.
Targ.
Oh, I could do. Is that ink?
That's the one he stabbed.
I'll do.
Okay, so take a moment. Decide what you are going to have for dinner. You're going to have Gach, Heart of Targ, Pipius Claw, Rokeg Blood Pie, or Breget Lung.
I'm going to have heart of Targ.
You're going to have Heart of Targ, okay?
Because it's probably like cabbage or something.
What was that pie?
It's like artichoke.
Rokeg blood pie.
Well, I'm from Birmingham, so I'll have the pie.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like black pudding?
Aye.
Hey,
Special.
What's Pripyas Claw?
Pipius claw.
sounds crustacean, and therefore I'm allergic to it.
These are unless you know your Star Trek really, really well. You can roll for academic if you want.
+1 onto fair, so that's total of 3.
How much?
Total of 3.
3. You know that Pipius is an arthropod, a crustacean.
Yeah, I would be allergic to it.
But no
Even though it
character.
probably has no DNA in common with.
I should actually say one important thing that you need to understand is that Klingons do not understand the concept of vegetarianism.
Yes, that much I did do, and I had my character has
Heart
been
of
stealing
Tard
himself
won't
for
be
that.
artichoke heart then.
Okay, so you've decided on Heart of Targ.
Yeah.
I think the Gark.
You think Goch? Okay.
Are you serious? Do you know what it is?
Yes, it's the wormy stuff. You go. "Nah."
That's alive.
Yes.
Jesus.
Goch is always best served.
Live.
I'm assuming the other crew want us to pick food.
Yes, well, I should say here, just so you understand, the Klingon crew are genuinely giving you the very best that they have to offer.
Well, okay.
They also know that humans have a reputation of having weak stomachs, and they're playing the usual game of watch the foreigner.
Okay.
Well, what's the hardiest thing with these then?
Oh, Jesus.
That would probably be the Gah.
You're going to eat the live
I'll go
worms.
Garth as well.
The Gah, righto.
There you go in the gar.
No, Will will have the crustacean, and Ray's character is going to roll for what he should have. So what will you rolling?
Okay,
I don't want to
the
force
five-
feed
This
Ray
is
anything.
like some knobhead going into a Thai
Roll
Thai
that.
Roll
restaurant in Thailand and saying, "Give me the hottest thing you've got."
Could be.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
3.
Oh, that's half good.
That's Pipius Claw.
Okay, have that.
Pipius Claw.
He's going to eat
because
that.
Okay, righto.
only a complete knob would do that.
What you're going to be doing now is you're going to be rolling on a gastronomy.
No, I'm not saying that about urban. I don't think I am.
Okay.
What we're about to eat.
We're going to eat.
Oh, everybody's got all their food.
You've chosen your food. You've got a gastronomy, right? Gastronomy rating.
Excuse me. I'd like to propose my town's toast to all good
Yeah,
for good sportsmanship.
Palmerston North.
To all of you, I propose our traditional New Zealand toast. I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. No, I'm going to work harder.
What just happened?
He just gave a toast, and the Klingons roar with approval. And
Well,
there you go. Well done.
Was that referencing something in
I'm not
particular?
entirely sure, but it was garbage, but it was well cooked garbage.
It's his version of what he thinks New Zealanders are like.
Well, when you said my
Yeah.
town in New Zealand, the first thing I thought of is, what is the most hokey, ridiculous, sad-ass town in New Zealand I can
That would be
think of?
Dunedin.
And I've only been to the North Island, and so I went with Palmerston North, which does have a reputation as being rather bland and bogany.
So what are we rolling?
It's hard to find a place in.
It was gastronomy, which I don't think we actually have, so it
No,
probably
No,
defaulted
gastronomy is a unique skill.
it was part
Yeah,
of
so
the
it defaulted
Beyonce
to
song.
0.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, right now.
Perfect. That fits in really well with Palmerston North, if you ask me.
Okay, now each character should choose their meal from the above choices.
Yep, done, Dick.
Okay. Humans find Klingon food disgusting.
Excellent.
Sure.
So your gastronomy is -1.
Oh, okay.
I don't even have. I've got a
No,
gastronomy. of
your
0.
gastronomy is a specialist skill for this.
Oh, so we.
Okay.
How many pluses is it? None.
So, in other words,
Minus
you
1.
automatically get a minus.
Oh,
Okay. Now, as well as that,
I'm going to vomit all over the table.
okay, so humans -1.
Yep.
Cations
Yes.
are more or less okay with Klingon food because animals serve raw as normal on their world.
Oh, true. That's why
So
you're
they're
in
in
Also, I
the
shop.
love Klingon food.
So they're a national.
When I was in my diplomatic calls, I loved eating.
So your
Well, you should get a plus.
gastronomy is 0.
Oh, come on, give him a plus.
Well, no,
He
but the
used to eat Klingon
Klingons
food.
are at 0
He
as
used
well.
to eat Klingon food.
I love how you guys need to know what the odds are before you roll.
I do.
Yeah, I
need to know.
It
So
does
what
make a
penalty are you going to
difference.
lob at the
It
Vulcan?
makes a difference.
It does make no
Vulcans.
Why?
Weirdo.
If it's different, why do
Vulcans
you
begin
hide
with a
it?
gastronomy of -2
What?
because Klingon food is absolutely revolting for a near vegetarian.
Yes.
Meanwhile, also, if you chose the Gah, you have a -2, but I'm going to cancel that for you because you're familiar with Klingon food. So that's you're basically eating home style cooking. Okay, but normally if you chose Gah, it's -2. If you chose Heart of Targ, that's -1. By the way, Gah is serpent worms served live and wriggling. Heart of Targ is the heart of a mammal-like animal common on Kronos, which is served raw.
Ew.
Hippias Claw is a large arthropod analogue, also served raw, but Klingons call it, say that it is unusual in that it is served dead. A lot of these foods are actually served dead, but they make a big deal of it. So Hippias Claw is basically think lobster but raw.
Okay.
Okay, that's all right.
Okay,
It's
that's
like
0.
sushi.
Yes.
It's like the 0. That's
Roke egg blood pie.
No. Didn't
That is a pie made from the blood of a reptiloid creature baked into a pastry, which is surprisingly similar to pastry found in dishes from Earth. The filling is similar to black pudding.
Oh,
Good
yum.
to go there.
So it's -1.
I love black pudding. Black pudding.
And if you happen to pick the Breguet lung, which nobody did, Breguet lung would have been +1 because that one's actually surprisingly palatable to humans.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, not to worry.
Not to worry.
Now that you know that, now that you know what you've got, roll for gastronomy. So basically, okay, modify with whatever you've got.
So is it -1 for not having gastronomy and another -1 for the half?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm -2.
Right, so
Okay, so
How much can I buy off with the calm in the face of the danger and or citizen of the universe?
okay, you can pay me that, and I'll let you re-roll anything that's
How
gone.
much you want one or two?
Just one.
Oh,
Unfortunately, none of my stunts will help me.
Okay,
Will got 0.
he got 0.
Yeah.
If you got 0,
Hang on. Did I start at 0 or -1?
you
I
started
have a-
-1.
Okay, so I got 0. Yep.
Okay, right? Okay. 0 means the food doesn't really stir positive or negative feelings.
okay.
You finish the meal without trouble, albeit leaving a few scraps on the plate.
Okay, alright, I'll get a roll for Ray's character. Oh, it's pretty choice, bro. 0 for me.
What all?
Yeah, but I've got 2 of those
What?
and 1 of those, so I've got, and that's nothing.
Where?
Yeah. So it's 1.
It's plus
So you were
1.
at 0
Oh,
to
God.
begin with.
Was I? I thought I was at -1.
Well, then you're 0.
This is not
Yes.
racist, is it?
Exactly.
Yes, I'm at 0.
No, this is racist.
This is being recorded and will be released on YouTube.
But that I'm attacking the tank with my Catania.
At least
Right.
pronounce it correctly.
Titania.
Katana.
No,
Titania is
I
a
have,
Russian girl.
Catania
That's
sounds like
because
some
he's named
Russian
his sword
thing.
after a Russian girl.
no, I have to call it Catania.
she's probably
No,
one
you
of
don't.
the
You really don't.
You
There's
really
so
don't.
many
They
things
see
you
the
have to
best
do
of
that
time.
no one else wants you to.
Anyway,
I'm a martial
what you had?
arts
So you had 0.
millionaire.
Okay,
I have to call
so
it
he
Catania.
also finishes the meal without trouble.
Oh.
What did you end up with?
I got 0, so I'm.
You okay? Geez, this is good.
It was yummy.
Captain,
I
You go
enjoyed it.
first.
He did.
Because we're both
those
eating
cancel
gar,
out.
aren't we?
So I was at -4 in total, which is 0 modified. So yeah, I'll be brave about it, but I'm obviously struggling.
You are completely revolted and violently ill immediately.
As we would.
You
expect.
unfortunately become the laughing stock of the dinner party.
What negative did you get?
Well, I started off with -4 and went nowhere from there.
Oh, -4.
So I got 3, so when I finish mine, I'm going to eat his as well.
You got +3.
Oh wow, +3. Hang on a minute.
How?
Because he was 0 to begin
Because he's a
with.
cat.
He's a cat, and they
Oh.
like, yeah.
They
Okay,
like
so
raw
you got
food.
you enjoy the meal and you take seconds, and the Klingons always love watching somebody who's enthusiastic about their food. So, yep, you've managed to impress the Klingons enormously.
Yeah.
Well done.
Now, he ate a pretty hearty food, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
You should dead set pick on some Klingon that's picked something weaker than you now. And go,
I
do you
also-
enjoy your baby food?
Work out whether I
Do
like
it.
this or not compared
Yeah,
to
sure.
the previous one I've done. Just use diplomacy.
Yeah, just diplomacy.
So that's
Just, you evened it out.
3.
Okay, yes, your diplomacy says you are able to give some very judicious judgment on the quality of the gar, including you talk about this is a delicate subspecies, and I did enjoy the wriggle.
Maybe you know what ground it was harvested from. You could.
Oh, like why?
You know,
He had to get 2 more for that.
Oh.
But
I'm just happy to say whether it's better or
Oh,
worse
it's
than
not,
I've had
this
before.
obviously came from the south side.
Yeah, the clay content is.
I've
such-
No,
had
that's what we
north
do with the
side.
wine.
North side
Yeah, I
gar.
tell you what, if there was anything where you would be able to tell the clay content of it, would be earthworms. Because
That's true.
if anything's going to give you a sense of the clay content of the soil in which
Anyway,
it was grown,
you get a fate
it's
point.
going to be something full of the soil in which it was grown.
There you go. Good. Now, you
I got
roll?
-2.
You got -2. Okay, what does that mean? Let's have a look. -2. Do you dislike the food intensely, but you managed to choke some of it down?
With a stupid fake grin on my face.
And turning
Klingons,
green.
the Klingons are somewhat amused, but they're not laughing at you like they're laughing at Vulcan.
Look at him! He blew his chunks! Oh, this is horrible.
Now, of course, the Klingons do not roll for this because this is just normal food for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
Now-
got the freaking pupils in the eyes.
Now, each one of you.
Oh, you think I can see that? I like how you think my eyes are that good. I'll even try with
Sorry,
my
are
glasses
you-
and
what?
I can't see it.
Isn't that just how you paint these things?
No, I just do them as grey orbs. There's no way I can do pupils in the eyes.
Oh, did
It
you?
usually takes 3 or 4 attempts.
Yes,
It's
why?
like Mr. Bean.
Thanks, that was really helpful. I was about to bask in the well-deserved praise and enjoyment, but
No, this is good. He's a bit Mangarite, but you expect that from Ferengi.
Oh, no, you've touched it now. Oh,
What?
now it's ruined.
What are you
actually, one of
talking
the
about?
Klingons had to get his head repainted. So,
I'm going to need magnifying
I
glass
know.
soon to see these fucking
I
things.
know. And strong light.
Because with even my reading glasses on, I have to hold it at a certain distance, otherwise
I
I,
know,
just cannot see
I
it.
can't see.
now, after the meal, which is accompanied by the way, with Klingons, the meal is accompanied with an awful lot of shouting and raucousness, and there's a certain amount of sploshing of the blood wine.
But I thought he was going to say salad, but no. No salad.
Their idea of salad is slightly more delicate meat.
Yes.
But meanwhile, at this point after the meal, the chef comes out and places a large mug of blood wine in front of you. Now,
Here we go.
this blood wine is different to the stuff that you've been served with
Right, for
dinner.
coughing.
And this is, you remember I was saying that the blood wine has steam coming out of it? Mm-hmm. This is the stuff with steam coming out of it.
Blah, 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 blah.
Straight out of the cow.
Blah, 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 blah.
At this point, the Klingon first officer stands and proposes a
And
toast.
it's a manga cow.
He says, "To the Stellar Games, may it be glorious." And he takes a big swig of his blood wine. Each one of you, and you watch the Klingons each take a big swig as well.
We should take this Klingons. So if this game's ever held like on Earth, we should take them to a vegan cafe.
And what, make them eat salad?
Ply them with tofu and salad.
Well,
geez,
funnily
and
enough, there is one
and
episode.
chamomile tea, and then they'll all be horribly ill.
There is actually one episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where a Klingon officer comes on board the Enterprise and they serve him roast turkey, and he looks absolutely green around the gills. He says, "I don't mean to be rude, but this bird has obviously been left out in the sun for too long. It appears to be white. And it turns out that he's never tried food that has been cooked.
Ah.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be the stuffing.
Meanwhile,
That's the best bit.
okay, righto. So now you have a alcohol tolerance.
I don't.
Now, each member of both crews is provided with a mug of blood wine. For Klingons, this is a normal intoxicant. So they have a tolerance of +3. So the first officer, he loses 1, but he's otherwise okay.
Are they trying to get us wrecked so we can't
Yep.
compete tomorrow?
Yep.
Is it tomorrow that's
Yep.
happening?
Yes.
Hang on a minute. I just realised I should have done something here.
This is cheating. This is technically cheating.
No, it's not.
No, it's drinking and having a good
Listen
time.
here, Captain.
If they can do it, then we should be able to do
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
That's not how it works. Biology is different.
If it was the
Oh my god, I use biology as a plural. I need to go and shoot myself.
No, in this context, that's fine. They've got different biologies.
Well,
Your biology and their
I
biology
don't
are
know,
different.
Captain. I'm supposed
There
to fly
must
the
be a
ship
better way of
tomorrow.
saying
Maybe
it
it's
than
not a
that.
good idea. I have, drink and fly.
If it helps, the Starfleet crew do have reliable anti-intoxicants.
Oh, okay, that's all right then. I can just get jabbed by the holographic doctor for my hangover.
might be able to get your insides cleaned out too.
Okay, so
I want some holographic edema.
what the?
They would just beam it out of you.
I mean,
Now you're being silly.
what are they called? What are they called?
I'm restraining his head.
Stomach flush or whatever it's called.
It's called the vomitarium, and
Stomach
all
pump.
good Roman.
Houses had one. Oh God.
Fugitives.
Fugitives. Apparently, the Russian officer corps was still doing things like that during the Napoleonic Wars.
Okay, righto. So just to give you some idea of what's going on here, the Klingons each take their swig. Most of them are unaffected by the blood wine, but the first officer and the operations officer were hit a little harder than everybody else, so
No.
they're down to +2. Klingons are +3 for blood wine tolerance.
Have they already started off before we got here?
No, probably not.
Well, not with the really good stuff.
No.
Now, the rest of you have a tolerance built in. Humans are more susceptible to blood wine than Klingons, so your tolerance is +2.
Ah,
No, that's better.
Caitians are particularly vulnerable to blood
Oh,
wine,
jeez.
so they start at +1.
Right, you ready to carry him out? 'Cause you're gonna have to.
Vulcans are made of stern stuff and have a tolerance of +4. Under normal circumstances, a Vulcan can drink Klingons under the table.
Do it, Saxon.
Okay,
Earn it-
so-
earn it
and
some
be
honor.
really boring during the whole thing.
Yeah, do it.
So, you know what yours is. Now, when you roll your dice,
Yes.
if you get a minus, that decreases your you 1 for each minus permanently. Pluses don't give you more tolerance, I'm sorry to say.
5.
So
5.
so Peter,
5.
he's fine.
How did you
Oh,
get
I
five?
just lost
You
one.
did get 5.
5.
Will just lost one.
You got it by rolling dice.
And
Five.
Ray's character
Ray,
What you do is
got +1.
the dice like this,
okay, so he's still on +2.
and you go. And he's just good. Anyway, they can come. Anyway.
How's the kitty cat?
Yay!
Nothing.
Oh, well done. He made.
How
He's
do you
still
use these things again?
That's fate points.
fate points that they drive your aspects. So if you see an aspect that gives you some advantage,
Oh, where
Let
are
me
my
know.
aspects?
Okay.
these
Oh,
things.
those ones.
Yeah,
It says where it's listed under aspects.
yeah, that's the one.
Should we save them for
So
the
you've got-
race?
No, there should. Okay, one big thing. This is not supposed to be like wiener points. This is supposed to be constantly being used.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You notice I've been freely throwing out the fate points tonight?
Trying to make us. He's trying to make us role play,
Trying to
Peter,
make us risky.
instead of role
Okay,
play.
so yes, the captain is fine.
Roll
Saxon?
play.
You're
I
just jealous
rolled a
'cause I'm a better
+1
roller
for a
than
total
you.
of +5.
+5. You're not even slightly lagging. What about Dr. Dave?
3.
Blah.
Okay, so
Oh, I did it again.
3. So you're still +2. Okay. Now, is anybody now? I've already given one fate point to Ray's character for doing a good toast. Is anybody willing to give a toast to the Klingons? Because there is a real culture amongst the Klingons of toasting in turn.
Well, yes, it's like your shout in Australian culture.
Correct.
I guess we better do that then, eh?
Mm-hmm. And there's a whole container of fate points just a begging.
Well, I can't see how any of my aspects are relevant.
No, but you misunderstand. If you stand up and give a good toast,
If you
could get a
if
fate
you actually
point.
role play, David, instead of role playing, you might get a fate point.
Oh, I
God's
wasn't
sake.
actually criticising you before. I was just saying.
Yes. Okay.
That's
So,
how you get the little pink discs.
But then you can throw it at people.
well,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've got anything. What have I got?
I've got nothing, to be honest.
Time.
I don't
A toast. Good food, good drink, good company.
Says the man
Oh.
who vomited everywhere.
okay.
No,
Now
he didn't. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he did.
Yes,
Dude,
we
you
all-
vomited
the
all over
Klingons,
place.
the Klingons bang on the table, which is their version of applause. And they are.
Surely they're thinking, he must be joking.
It is impressive
He
to
threw
them.
up all over himself.
It is impressive to them that she has rallied so well.
Yes.
Okay, so
And that
they
was
take,
what I was intending.
they take their next swig of wine. The first officer.
I'm rolling anyway.
Oh
Hurrah!
dear, first officer has been hit pretty hard by that one.
Hurrah!
Security is fine.
Okay.
Tactical is fine.
No.
Helm is fine.
Come on, Will. Stay up.
Targeting
Stay
is
up.
fine.
Stay up. Oh, he does.
Operations is fine. Okay, so how did you go, Dr.
I
Dave?
got one.
you lost one. Okay, Saxon, how'd you go?
Oh, sorry. Down to my starting point was plus
Plus
4,
four.
so I'm down to 3.
Down to 3. Okay, cool. You're just down to Klingon level now. How'd you go?
I went down 3, but is there anything I can do
Okay,
about
now at this point,
Or- or-
unfortunately,
that? So hang on,
Use the fate
is
point.
there anything I can do about it?
well, have you got any fate? Okay, look at your aspects. Is there anything in your aspects which might give you something
Some
to go
kind
by?
of bonus.
Father figure.
Father figure's probably not going to do jack on this one.
You always yell
My
at
dad
him.
could always drink more than me.
Not quite what. I'm getting you. Going to give you kudos for stretching the definition of the aspect well, though. What else have you got?
Well, I don't think I've ever anything
Dear. I think.
Actually, no, I got competitive.
Competitive? Yeah, I'm willing to give you that. So, by a sheer act of will, you pay that in, and I'll let you re-roll anything that's any of your minuses.
So roll all 3 of them.
So re-roll your minuses.
Can we
Slightly better.
Angus Taylor, can we work out a way to
Who's
say
Angus Taylor? Sorry.
the supposed energy minister?
Oh right, okay.
What?
Okay, unfortunately that didn't help a great deal, did it?
No, that was pretty pointless.
Mr. Clean
Okay, righto.
Carbon
Well, the
Natural
captain,
Gas.
nobly and
and
valiantly sinks below the table.
No, that's all right. We can get the captain out. It's all right.
Okay.
Don't you want to know what I rolled? Or?
Yes, I do want to know what you rolled, Peter.
Okay.
No, we don't.
I got 3 altogether.
3 altogether. Okay, right.
I started at 2 and
you're-
I got +1.
You're unaffected.
What was I? What was Will on?
You're on 1.
1. I've got another 2 more.
You've lost. Oh no, you can't. You don't get any extra.
No. Okay. Well, I'm
Okay,
okay.
right.
I'm gonna roll for Ray.
Ray, yep,
Oh, that's even.
he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, righto. So only the captain is under the table at this point,
Mr.
which, come to think of it, is pretty understandable because he's a lightweight compared to everybody else in the room.
Oh, I'd never say such a thing.
He's a
Okay,
Cation.
you're doing
Cations don't like blood ones.
Because he's got
What, bro? Oh, I
don't know if
don't
he's-
have it.
Heard that.
No, you don't. You're the other version of you.
I
I've got
heard during the
strapping
meeting
sons
at
that,
the library
like,
that
wear
for some reason I was
things on
invited
my-
to.
like,
even though
I remember that meeting very well.
everyone
Beat
said,
the
Evan's
chest.
got asthma, don't say it in front of me.
Okay, now
Your generations double as they go back, or increase by 50%?
the security officer stands up. The security officer stands up and says, "Today we celebrate, for tomorrow we may die." And then he smiles and says, "But probably not." Ha 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 ha. And all Klingons laugh.
Bang, you can't. You're
Okay.
passed out.
Security officer does not get affected. Tactical
Is
officer.
it a new round? Is it a third
Yes,
round?
a third round, yep. The helm officer takes a bit of a beating.
Oh dear, this will be like that time
Now-
I was.
Now,
This will be
Targeting.
now that the captain's insensible, it's our chance to pet him.
Insensitive.
Oh, did you bring the
Oh,
boat?
jeez! The operations officer is under the table.
They're gone.
And the little jingly bell. Oh shit.
Dr. Dave is down.
That's a 0.
That's a 0. Dr. Dave is down.
Oh, you're going to be okay.
I'm okay.
You're okay. How many did you lose?
Well, I got 3 again.
Go on.
3 again.
So
Come on.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
losing nothing.
Will is at. I've got one more plus, so I'm alright. Ray's character.
Yep.
Apparently they're going to make.
Oh,
they're
shit.
Going to
That's
make
not
vaping legal in Australia. Like you'll be able to buy vaping stuff because you can't get it.
That'll be fantastic for
However-
the air quality.
However, actually,
Ray's
won't make any
character's
difference to air
taken
quality.
minus
Are you
2.
sure you
Well, if you have to
do.
smell it.
And
He's
minus-
under the table.
Bad. But
I'm
what?
going
You sure
under
you
the
can't buy
table.
You
What?
sure you can't buy it now?
Not. It's.
You have
There-
to go. You have
There's
to
a
mail order it.
vaping shop right next to the library.
Yeah, they can
It's
buy.
an interesting one. It's kind of.
You can
And I
buy
see
the
people
gear,
vaping all the time.
but you can't buy the bloody liquids.
It's what. This is probably bad news for the company.
But you can mail order it. You can buy it by mail. It's
Well,
like
firstly, it's going to kill the mail order business. That's probably
Yeah.
what they're aiming to do.
but the thing is, it's only going to be
Oh,
prescription
no, bro.
only. You'll
Oh.
only be able to buy
I can't
vaping
drink
fluid
anymore.
with
Oh.
a prescription.
Might go to sleep.
Okay, you've gone to sleep.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm fantastic.
The remaining-
to go hug
In
my
other words,
dicky.
if you're a smoker and
I'm
you
just
want
gonna
to try
drink
and
it
get
while
off
I'm at the
smoking,
table.
then you could probably get a prescription.
Okay, we've got Saxon, Dave, and Peter are all still going. We've got 1, 2,
And
3,
you'd be
4,
better off.
5 Klingons
You
still
would be
going.
better.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna.
Okay, so is
And the
anyone
rest
half
of
a
us
dozen
would,
of the other?
and the rest of us would definitely be better off.
Using our knowledge
I'd
of
much rather-
Klingon culture,
I'd
is it
much
the
rather
case that
have
they go
vaping
for a set
vapor
number
than
of rounds,
bloody
or
cigarettes
until
smoking?
one side or the
Yes.
other is under the table?
One side or the other is
Okay.
under the table.
Oh, jeez.
If they kill themselves doing it, that's their problem. As long as they're not poisoning me. Anyway,
Are you talking about the Klingons or are you talking about...
I'm talking about vaping.
It works for the Klingons as well, that's all.
Yes.
New round.
You're round.
So who wants to give it a toast?
What's happened to me? 'Cause
You are under the table, my friend.
Okay, I'm done then.
Will will give a toast. He says, "Well, you may take our wives, but you'll never take our freedom."
It's
The
actually,
Klingons consider that quite an odd toast, but they're starting to
it's
get under
actually
their cuffs.
lives, not wives, but you go with your version.
Well, they like women
the
more.
Palmerston North version.
Yeah.
New Zealanders or Klingons?
Actually, I'm going to give you
Yes.
an extra plus.
Will gets an extra plus. Why?
Reasons.
Okay.
Oh,
Alright, good.
mysterious and ominous.
Reasons, good.
It's
I like
genetic.
reasons.
It'll come back and bite you later.
Well, alright.
No problem.
Okay, so
Table
first
7.
officer
I'm going to have to
takes
look up
his swig. He's
real
fine.
sayings from William Wallace rather than the made-up ones.
Yes.
Security officer is fine. Tactical's okay.
I like the stuff he said at the end of the movie.
Helm is under the table.
Arg,
Okay.
arg, that's me guts. They shouldn't be outside the... They
Targeting.
shouldn't be on the street like that.
He's okay.
Alright, come on, Will.
We come here with no peaceful intent,
minus one.
but ready for
Okay.
battle.
Yep,
That
good.
sounds like something you'd say.
Ray's dead. Ray's not dead. He's
Ray's under the table. That's
He's under
one,
the table.
Every
There you
man
go,
dies,
I got one.
but not every man
You got one?
truly lives. Now that's
Okay.
great.
Oh, hang
Yeah.
on. I'm at.
I might use
You're
that one
plus
next.
two,
I'm
so-
still standing up.
Oh, they cancel each other out. So
yes. So you still
yeah,
have one.
yeah, I'm at 2. No, I'm at 1.
Can I have
I
a point
defaulted
of
at 2, so I'm
clarification?
at
Is
1.
it each time we start with the same positive or negative bonus?
No, you gradually get dripped down.
Oh, I see.
So my
Right.
bonus
never
is
go.
How did you
plus
go,
1.
Saxon?
I don't think you go back
Plus
up.
3.
You're fine.
You do have to be really
Yeah.
careful with these quotes that you just look up on the internet. Half
Yeah.
the time they're
Yeah.
bullshit.
So that means basically in this case it's only at +5 rather than +7 if I started
Well,
from the same baseline.
you're currently at +3, which means you've lost 1 point, but you're still higher up the scale
Yeah.
than any of
How
these.
do
No, I
you
didn't
get
realise we
+3?
were slowly slicing off the effective thing for each time.
How do you start at +3?
Because he was Vulcan, so
Oh, he's Vulcan, right? Okay.
Vulcans
Yeah.
are +4 at the start.
Yeah.
Humans are
+2.
plus
I'm now
+2.
+1. Yes.
If you were a Romulan, we don't have any Romulans, but if you were a Romulan, you would be +3. If you are a Caitian, sorry about that.
Yeah, -2.
Well, the reason for this is that Caitians are actually, when I said lightweight before, that wasn't a figure of speech. Caitians are literally light and they're cat-like, light and frothy.
Frothy and
They are
bubbly.
cat-like, and
Fun
therefore
at parties.
they tend to be.
Point of order. What
Have-
are horters?
Light body mass rate.
Horters don't drink alcohol. Horters eat rock.
Light and frothy.
Alcohol may not affect them in the slightest, perhaps.
No. Well, it
They don't know what
depends.
to do with it exactly.
It depends on horticulture.
Maybe they just pour it on themselves.
Oh dear. Oh
Light
dear.
and frothy.
I don't know what's happening.
Kitty
I said
cat.
you said might affect. I said it will depend
Oh,
on horticulture. Wouldn't it?
Bad
Wouldn't it?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with that.
Kitty. Kitty.
No, Kitty, are you patting the captain? Don't do it. It's weird and unnecessary.
I do know one William Wallace
You're
quote.
That's
off
because
the
his
top of
daughter's
my
not
head,
here.
which is,
Weird.
tell the English to come here and we will meet them to their beards.
What the hell's he
He had a thing about the English, didn't he?
Well, possibly for reasons. But
What about
Detail.
how can I be guilty of treason when England is foreign to me?
I don't think that's actually something he actually said.
People have some Scottish people have that in a tattoo.
My favourite.
Because they're idiots.
The trouble with that is it would make a lot more sense if it hadn't been that the Scots actually came to the English cap in hand and handed the country to the British.
Well, except that they got a really shit deal out of it. They didn't think Edward Longshanks would take advantage of them in the way that he did.
So what you're saying is that they went in a position of weakness and they were stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
How around?
All right, new rounds.
New round. Okay,
Right.
so the
Yeah.
Klingon tactical officer stands up
Yep.
Yeah.
and says, "Today is a good day to die."
Okay.
He's fine.
Same roll. Same as last time.
Oh, even.
He's fine. First officer, he's fine.
My God,
Security,
you're rolling like +3.
he's fine. Yep, they're all unaffected. Okay, how did the Starfleet go?
I got level, like I got 0.
Evens.
I'm still at
Even?
+1.
Still +1, still +1, still +3. Okay, so any of you guys got a toast left?
Yep.
Go for it.
As a raise been taken, they go, on our home world, it is well known that the Klingons invented sex. The humans introduced it to women.
What?
I'm not sure. It's good to
Here you go,
we're all
-1.
drunk already and maybe you don't.
That makes sense.
Can't
The
actually.
Klingons burst into peals of laughter, which indicates they have no idea what the hell you're talking about. So,
I'm just going
First
to
officer.
that one.
is even. Security is fine. Tactical is -1, so he's down to 2. He's down to human
+1
normal.
again.
Oh,
Targeting.
I just ordered
Zero.
a couple of books from Spain the other day.
In
Pre-order.
Spanish,
No, in English.
you
Well-
couldn't get them.
Why did you order books from Spain? Just to...
Because the illustrated checklist of the mammals of the world is about to be published.
Oh wow!
Okay.
And I pre-ordered it. Therefore,
are you
I
in
get
it?
20% off.
Did he
Are you in
say chick list?
You're not
Yeah,
published.
he
You're
got
not part
a
of
book
the
on
publishing of this?
chickies.
No, I'm not part of
It's
the
a
publishing.
It's a book on
Otherwise, I'd
chickies.
So,
It's a
I'll
chick
roll
list.
a 0
List on
all
Chicky
up.
book.
So,
0 all up. Okay.
Illustrated checklist.
sorry, it's a
You
0
said
roll,
cheek
so
list.
whatever the
Why'd
modifier
just got
Okay,
the
right.
chickless.
Klingons.
With the chickies.
Because you could just chick them off.
He's got a picture of every
every
single
bird,
mammal
chick in the world.
In the world, and you
goddamn
could
world.
chick them off.
Yes, you can chick
When
them
you
off.
see them.
Tactical.
Exactly.
Klingon tactical is under the table.
Alphabetical order.
I like that idea.
Bloody great, mate.
Is it narrated by Michael Caine?
No, and
It should
I've got to
be.
say the audiobook version of an
Drink
illustrated
your blood wine.
Drink the blood, right? Yeah, okay.
even for me,
All right,
one
okay,
of the
come on,
boringest
come on,
things.
Hey,
What
I'm minus
about
one.
Kenneth Branagh?
Okay.
I mean,
Am I gone?
it's
Uh,
just,
Am I gone now?
Dave's luck ran out.
he's just
Okay,
gonna
luck right Right.
name every
Good night.
species in the world.
Well, I'm at 2, so I'm still in it.
He'll be going
Okay.
number
Excellent.
302. The lesser
Saxon?
spotted mammal code.
Did you drink your blood wine?
I don't know.
Number 300.
Okay, righto.
The greatest
Again,
spotted
again.
mammal code.
Okay, Klingon.
You have to
The
memorise
Klingon-
all these.
By the way, the Klingons are all very, very, very tipsy by now.
Again,
And so the
again.
the targeting officer stands up and says, "May they lose their nostrils,"
Yep.
which is
Oh.
indeed a Klingon curse.
And there he
Okay.
is.
Wow.
Nope, that's bad.
Yep, I'm still in it.
Hey.
I'm down to
Still up.
0.
You're down to 0. The
Oh,
Vulcan
God.
is down.
You've
The
out-drunken
Vulcan.
the Vulcan.
I have
Vulcan
drunk
nearly
the
got snake
Vulcan.
eyes.
I have drunk the Vulcan.
Okay, first officer.
The Vulcan.
He's still okay.
Who's going to wet
Security.
their pants first?
No, but he's fine. Targeting. He's fine.
Jesus, how many Klingons are there?
It's like 6 Klingons
There-
left. You can do it.
There's 3 Klingons left.
Again!
Again! More
Okay, did you
wine!
I'm
Hey! You're dead!
down!
You actually just died.
Again, again.
Okay.
Suddenly caught up to you.
Now they rape us in our sleep.
Wow.
What the
Okay.
hell?
Oh, that's what I fear would happen if we all passed out. You're our last hope.
Soft yielding humans.
Now, who got?
That's
sorry,
the last thing we
a
hear.
little detail I need. Who got a toast in the who got a fake point in the toasting?
Yes, I got a couple.
Who, just put your hand up if you got one.
No, I don't. Oh,
Okay, one.
hang on.
How many did we actually get?
I got
Probably a
2.
reasonable many boys going out the back door.
I got
Okay, got 2, 3.
It's all right.
So 3 total.
I need a pencil, actually,
Oh, that bad.
Okay, righto, there you go.
because I'm now on 4 fate points. I got it for the pie, apparently.
God.
Oh no, I got it for the martial arts.
Pie.
Is it like a Ravenloft pie? Is it that
Okay,
I don't. He won't.
The
he won't let
Klingons-
me examine the pie.
the Klingons have
Who's he?
Yeah, go on.
the Klingons
Evil
have
one.
massively enjoyed their evening, and you have actually somewhat impressed them.
Good.
And the reason for this is because it is well known amongst Klingons that humans and other Federation types cannot hold their alcohol. So you guys actually did do pretty well because you actually drunk a bunch of Klingons under the table. Not all of them, but
Yeah, true.
fair number of them.
We weren't alone. We didn't pass out.
You, as the captain, nods unsteadily and says, "You drank like Klingons."
Oh, okay, good. He's happy with us. All right.
Well, we did 50%, so
Yes.
we're at least average or above thereof.
So,
Time to stagger back to
so
the
your
ship.
your
Depends on the probability distribution of drunkenness amongst Klingons. Could be just be the median.
now, so you guys are pretty unsteady. The chef obviously was
Stop checking
well
my
aware.
work emails. What am I doing?
She's really that boring.
Weak.
Sorry.
Being weak. Weird.
Now the Klingon chef was obviously ready to go with all this because he comes around with a small tablet for especially those who are well and truly under the weather. Hands it to them, which is Federation make anti-intoxicant.
Instant.
No, it's
sober.
not instant. It's he's only giving you a small dose, which basically means you're able to function.
Insta sober.
It's not insta-sober. You need a lot more than we're giving
What
you.
if I inject myself with stims?
Alcohol dehydrogenase.
That would-
Could you actually ingest alcohol dehydrogenase?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Just inject antifreeze into your
Which
neck.
is the thing that your liver
Thank you,
makes
Donald
to,
Trump.
to
Why
break
don't
down
we?
alcohol. And,
Good idea.
And,
You first.
and your capacity to produce it varies.
So
genetically.
if we got some sunlight and we put sunlight on
Largely
us,
on
Can
my
you
show.
suppose put a hose in your lung?
Okay.
And pour in some soapy water.
If we inject bleach, that'll also work.
The captain bids his farewells, the Klingon captain, and says, "May we meet in glorious racing.
Okay.
Yeah.
May we sleep
Definitely.
it off first." And anyway,
Nice.
he nods at the chef, who grins broadly, presses a button under the table.
And we all die.
Dude, the Klingons aren't actually trying to kill you. They're actually trying to have a party,
The
dude.
ultimate of railroading, man.
Yeah.
But isn't the guy behind the counter a Romulan in disguise?
Insta TPK. Insta TPK.
Yeah.
Die, Mr.
He presses a button under the table, and all of you are vaporized.
TPK.
Totally.
TPK.
And
Johnny stands up from behind the bar and goes,
and reintegrate on a transporter pad just outside the Tamworth.
There you go.
oh, okay.
And
Nice.
so you're just outside the Tamworth, and you can reboard the ship.
Go on, imagine
But
if we could have
as
arrived to
you-
the bar like
I think
that.
I need to visit the head.
Yes, that would be a very good idea. But before you do that,
No, there's no before.
oh yes, there is.
I need to pay.
Leans on head. Now, when you while you were just before you get back on board the ship,
Yep.
there is something you notice. Now, it could be the alcohol, or it could be something.
Definitely is out.
But there's a small spot on the transport, just next to the transporter pad. It is white and mustard colour.
White and mustard colour.
White and
A
mustard.
spot.
So it's two
No,
colours.
little furry thing.
Triple?
It's a triple.
It's a triple.
Again. The triple.
Is it the
Don't let
same
it-
one as
don't
last
let it-
time?
You've got your face in
Can't be
with
the first same one as last time because this the one that you did last time. You vaporized.
How many
I'm
triples?
yeah, and we just got vaporized then and reintegrated here. I'm not going to trust it not to have reintegrated it after I vaporized it.
Well, let's
Is it
just
the
shoot
same
it.
triple?
Tricorder.
Try. Do a science roll.
There is no triple. I can't reshoot it.
Okay, plus 3 plus. Okay, so 1, so total 4.
Okay, total of 4. You get a very good reading. You find nothing.
Knew it. I shoot it.
This is another one of
You
those.
vaporized the triple. Well
I
done.
vaporize the triple.
Hang on.
Oh, don't. You don't.
No, this
have
is the
to.
same
You
reading we
don't
got last
need
time.
to do
We were
this.
scanned the treble. We got no reading.
Captain, don't.
We don't know
It's
why
don't
we don't get no
It's
reading.
not-
Maybe
it's
it's,
not
a
necessary.
tricorder malfunction. Maybe it's a holographic triple.
triple.
Don't let the captain eat the
You,
triple
do,
either.
you don't get a reading like
Like
it's,
it's
not
not there.
there.
Yes.
It's not there.
Confirmation
It comes
from
up
the
as a big
DNG.
trial
The
there.
computers.
It's a non-triple.
Yes. So I just vaporized something that wasn't there.
So it's not triple genocide then.
You
But it
know
could
what
mean
tribbles
something
are?
else.
They breed like crazy, and they don't like Klingons, and Klingons don't like them, and it's
There
on a
is-
Klingon ship.
Also, if you killed one, it's not genocide. So
There
what
is-
am I talking about?
So you shot it, and
If
it
it was
didn't
the
go
last
through
triple
it.
left in
Actually,
the
no,
universe,
you shot it.
would be
Does it-
genocide.
You shot it, and you managed to stun the triple because you forgot that the phases are limited.
Do you feel like
to-
a big man now? Do you feel? Yeah, you've clearly saved us.
I'll just readjust it, and I'll shoot
Can
it
you
again.
check whether I'm here?
He should roll to shoot because he's.
And that's a good question. I shall
Right.
use science to scan the captain.
Oh, wow.
Nothing there, so plus 3
You don't
total.
exist either.
So the captain, your tricorder records one Cation, full skeleton, muscles,
Is there anyone?
slightly affected by
Is
alcohol.
there anyone around who's not
With
part of our
underwear?
crew?
There's a Klingon walking along.
Can you scan him?
Yes, you'd
Okay.
like the tiki? Sure. He's very
So yeah, that cancels out for a modifier of 0, so total of 3 again.
The Klingon is there
Excellent.
in all his glory.
So everything is in a computer
So
simulation.
apparently the
This
wood
would seem to
that
be
he's
the case,
carved
yes.
out of
The
is-
Klingon,
is a piece of
the
character.
triple is
Nice.
somewhat stunned.
40,000.
I picked that triple up.
You pick the triple up. It sure feels real.
They killed a 40.
The Klingon walking past looks at you.
To make the tea.
It says, "What have you got that thing here for?"
Exactly.
I have no idea.
No, we
We
Klingons-
just found it here.
Klingons,
Is this normal for the boat?
Klingons are deadly allergic to twin triples.
Let us remove
Well, I
this piece
assume-
of vermin
I-
so that it doesn't offend public sensibilities.
That would be very much
Hang
appreciated.
on, but it doesn't exist.
Only
Is it
according to the
still
tricorder.
stunned?
It's actually physically picked up
Is
by the
it
camera.
still stunned?
It's waking up now and chittering.
Can we
Okay,
bottle
can
I
I
hold
for
it
a
towards the
brief-
Klingon?
No, don't do that. That's offensive.
What
to
the Klingon moves back.
The Klingon, but the Tribble doesn't do anything.
Yeah, won't the
It's
Tribble
stunned
spit at
at the
it?
moment.
No, no.
It's
No, he
stunned.
said it's waking up.
Okay.
It's waking up. It reacts. It bridles towards the Klingon.
Yeah,
Oh, so it does the normal thing.
It does the normal Klingon.
Okay.
Okay.
And the Klingon's asking you, what exactly are you doing?
Testing
What are you testing?
to see whether you're a Klingon or not.
The Klingon just walks away shaking his head.
So we put this in the science lab under a bottle.
Yeah, he did that last time.
Is the other one still there, or did we just?
No, he destroyed it.
Oh, you destroyed the
Put
other
it in
one.
the hydraulic press.
Let's,
I don't
let's-
remember
Let's put this in the sick bay or something
The
with a
hydraulic
force field around
press?
us. Just
I don't
Yeah, but
remember
put it in
using
the
a hydraulic
I
press on a
only shot
triple.
it.
yeah,
Is that
because
how
then
blood
I'm
wine
a
is made?
barbarian.
if we get another one, we know it's a
Apparently.
different Tribble. If we kill this one could be the same one
Yes, I agree.
materializing.
I
So
agree.
we should keep it.
So put it in a jar in
The
the.
intoxication that
Okay, so
Klingons
you
feel from drinking blood wine is actually an allergic reaction to triple juice.
So we're going to keep this one alive,
It's like
Jono.
licking
Okay, you
a
keep
cake.
it alive?
In the science lab.
Okay.
In a force field containment.
Okay, is in a force field containment.
Yeah.
You do have a force field containment. It is a stasis containment, and it's usually used for highly radioactive substances.
Good.
Sounds-
That's
You are
perfect.
storing a tribble.
Yep, that's
A
perfect.
triple that doesn't read on anything. So yeah. It's
And I will
perfect.
want to double check the tricorders because
Use
that's
a
highly
different
unusual.
tricorder. Use a different
If
tricorder.
nothing else, we should get a
Expecting
reading on
someone
air
to-
displacement
I'm
from.
just looking at that.
Even if we can't get a reading on his biology,
Like
his
a moth,
internals,
you're
we
just
should get air
drawn to it.
displacement.
Okay, so how are you going
switch
to
itself off?
you're going to check the tricorders?
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
I'm gonna, and when you
You have
guys
to
leave,
take
With
it
another
low down.
tricorder?
Well, no. First up, I'll actually check the
It'll be hot.
software,
Yes,
and
it
then
will
I'll
be.
check the hardware, and if necessary, I'll do that
Give
by
it
plugging into a
gloves.
computer, and we're actually running standard diagnostics on the
You can
equipment.
perform
It'll be hot only at the
a
top,
level
won't be
1
hot.
diagnostic, which is basically the
Yeah, it will
deepest
be.
scan you can put into it.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So you
I'm not a
perform
complete moron.
you perform a
Not a complete moron.
Yes. Oh, he's good.
Right, you're trying to tell me something.
no. I was just wondering why you're not a complete.
I'm
that sounds
going
terrible.
to take that globe out of its fitting
Right.
while it is on when you guys leave, because the only reason it's in right now is because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see where you were going.
That's fair enough. Okay.
Oh, so then it'll be the fortnightly globe that you will put on.
Yeah.
Like
well,
you'll become like a siren attracting us
I guess
to
what
the
I will
house.
do is put in a work request to get an electrician
Oh,
out
okay,
here
that's
to
right.
actually
We
try
can do
and
that.
make it
Put
work
something
properly.
better. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah.
It's clearly broken at the moment.
How much time we got, by the way?
It is
Either
a
that or I
quarter
don't
past
know how to
9,
make
so we've
it
got
work.
nominally 40 to 45 minutes.
Okay, right. I've got plenty of time. Righto. Good. Okay, so the tribble is kept in its enormously strong containment, and you take your tricorder and you put it through level 1 diagnostic.
Mhm.
The results of that will be with you tomorrow.
Now, triples.
What happens if I just take a normal photograph of the triple?
Excellent question.
Is it photographable?
Or is it a vampire triple?
The tribble, you take a visual
Yeah.
recording from your tricorder.
Whatever they use in Star Trek.
Yeah, this is tricorder.
To make a photo.
Photo.
You take a photo,
Yep.
and you have a photo where there's no tribble.
Right, so it doesn't photograph.
Star Trek, isn't that like a parcel company?
That is indeed.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
also
you are going to about to
can't
ask a
take a
question
photo
about
of
tribbles.
How do they reproduce? Do they
Well,
need two
when
triples?
two tribbles
they're-
love each other.
Or do they
David,
divide?
they're born pregnant.
Yes.
They've never been 100% sure, clear about the process involved, except that it happens extremely quickly.
If they get food source, they just explode like crazy.
Like popcorn.
Yeah,
Yes,
I guess my point
and the phrase was they're born pregnant.
Yeah,
but I mean,
they're
that may have been hyperbole
my
on
point
Dr. McCoy's
being,
point.
if you had a single tribble, would it be able to still
yes.
increase itself,
Yes, it will.
even though there's only one tribble?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
but only if you give it an uncontrollable amount of food.
Right. Yes.
Don't feed them, basically.
Traditionally,
What, are you telling me the laws of thermodynamics works in Star Trek?
I know, right? No, the tribbles.
So it doesn't in Alien. So
There are
that little
different
thing,
types of
that little
tribbles,
thing
though.
popped out of that guy, and it was
Yes.
like this big.
This is the
and
one
then in
that's
the next
invisible,
scene,
the
it's 7
cameras.
feet tall.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, it grow.
From what and how?
Oh, gosh.
What, did it eat something?
Yeah, the dog.
How long did it take? What
Not
dog?
long. Oh, that's alien.
If you one hand wave him, it was obviously absorbing neutrinos invisibly.
In any
You
case,
should team up with Damon Lindelof and make the shittest bloody script ever. Oh no, that's already happened. It was Prometheus.
dude.
Oh, hang on.
You
The
have
sequel
no idea
was
how
worse.
deep that well is.
The sequel was worse, apparently.
I've
Really?
not seen it, so I've seen reviews of it, but yeah, and I don't have any great desire to watch it.
Okay.
But I might watch
Anyway,
it.
So yes, you put the triple in the extremely strong containment, which
so beyond destroying it again, are there any other tests we can do on this thing? Because it doesn't seem to register on anything.
well, it's a mammaloid thing, so it's got blood and so forth. So you can.
So the medical doctor can take blood samples.
This is weird. So we can't. It's sort of electrical, electromagnetic signals. Just don't. We can't. We can't.
Okay.
It just goes.
Well, in that
it's
case-
not there.
Blood sample.
But
We can
physic-
take little cuttings of
but
its fur and actually
physically
do
it's there.
chemical analysis of its genetics.
Okay. So you do
You'll,
that.
you'll be
Yeah,
relying
but the
on.
computer last time the
Yes.
computer said it couldn't see anything.
You'll
in
be
the jar.
you'll be
Yes,
relying
but-
on the machine to detect
The
thing
machine that
be
can't see it.
detected.
No. If we're doing, I'm talking old
Are we-
style glass slide.
Oh, okay.
Dunk it in alcohol. See the spread of chemicals all across the slide.
Are we experiencing some kind of mass hallucination?
Well, the Klingon reacted to it, so if the Klingon's hallucinating as well.
If it is a mass
Yeah, sorry.
hallucination, it's not going to be psychic because I'm resistant to that. It could be holographic, pheromonal, or
If it's holographic,
audio.
surely it has some kind of electromagnetic signal.
No, let's say we're still in a
Hologram.
holodeck.
But
Yeah.
we're clearly
Everything in the holodeck can be said to respond in a certain way. So, if we're in a holodeck, then
I just need to go to the laundry.
what are they called? What's the
Don't pee in my washing
Tricorder?
machine.
tricorder is in the holodeck
glad
as
you
well.
cleared
So
that
then
up for me.
the holodeck can just say
Now it'll have to be the dryer.
that it says that there's nothing there.
That makes a certain amount of sense.
It does.
But that would imply the tricorder is a holodeck recreation as well.
Yeah, everything is a holodeck recreation.
So why would it not recognise the tribble when it's programmed?
That's a good
to
question.
recognise
That's
other
a question if that were the scenario.
I know.
Which
we're-
doesn't really.
I know
You're right.
what's
That
happening.
makes, so that means it's either incredibly overcomplicated or it's not true.
I know what's happening. We're in a cave watching a puppet show on the wall.
Oh,
That
Jesus.
makes-
Plato's cave.
That makes much more sense.
Do
actually,
deformed
now.
rabbit. It's my favourite.
I hate Plato.
In that case,
I'm actually
what
making-
type of
no, I'm
ideal
not really making a
representation
decent
of a
point,
platonic
no.
ideal does a tribble represent?
While you walk into the
No, I regret everything I've said now.
while you walk around the science lab, you are very, very surprised, but to hear the door chime outside.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, that's
I
right.
don't understand what that means.
Somebody's ringing the doorbell of the ship.
Oh, I thought
The ship has the
door.
Well,
doorbell.
it has a way of letting the security crew and so forth know
that someone's
someone's
outside
wanting to get
on
in
the
the
main
ship.
I'll just go and investigate the ship's doorbell. Hello? Beep. Hello? Who is out there?
The security officer is surprised to see two Klingons standing outside.
I was expecting Ferengi, to be honest. Hello?
One of them introduces herself as Kunelka, daughter of Kor, deputy referee.
okay.
She introduces her recording officer, Toreni, son of Conmel.
You must be here to inspect the ship.
Theoretically, it's the middle of the night, isn't it?
She says she wants to speak to the currently ranking officer about a disturbing tip-off she has received.
I will go get him. He is a captain.
Oh, is this where you waved
Bring her
a-
in. She
Is
can
this-
come and visit our.
Is
pet
this where
tribble.
you waved a tribble in front of a Klingon?
No, bring her in. Bring her into science.
Okay.
No. Meet her in the captain's lounge.
I'll
Well, that's fine. She can see what we're doing.
I'll
I
bring
don't
it to
think
the
it's a
captain's
problem.
lounge and tell the captain she's in the captain's lounge.
Bring it to the science lab where we're all working on the tribble.
I'm not going to
Okay.
introduce it to a tribble,
I don't want you to introduce her to a tribble.
but you do.
At no point did I say
captain-
you should introduce her to a tribble.
No, you
I
should,
just said bring her to the science
you
lab.
should just.
Can I
rub
just
it
say
in
the
her
captain's
face.
being very clever here?
Okay, I will bring her to the science lab.
The captain, the Kanelka and Toreni arrive in the science lab, and they look a little bit disturbed because they see on the bench here a tribble,
We're
and
dissecting it.
Kanelka looks at the captain and says, "Did you bring tribbles into this place?
No,
Well, what's that there?"
that was discovered next to the transporter that we were beamed to by a restaurant owner who helped cure us of a hangover from blood wine.
Understood. That's.
We
that's
actually
all.
don't believe this is a tribble. That's why it's in the
Kanelka
science
looks
lab.
at you strangely and says, "I'm sorry to hear that, but it certainly looks like a tribble to me."
What would she be ranked on this base? Like, would she be?
She's listed as deputy referee.
So would that be like security or police, or
No,
is that more to do with the competition?
She's a
What is the
refugee for the
competition?
race, yes.
Has she had any reports of anybody suffering from hallucinations on the station?
Yeah,
Any of the teams?
I mean, the driveways are crazy.
Any odd reports of things that?
But it can't be hallucination because she can. It's just a
I know that's what is weird. I'm going to ask.
yeah, of course.
She looks at you strangely and says, "No reports of hallucinations. You'd have to speak to the chief medical officer, though." Meanwhile, we have had.
Also, I'll show her the tricorder that says it's not there.
You know, and of course the.
She looks at it and says, "This is all very odd. The tribble does not appear to be there. Very strange." We cannot talk about tribbles tonight, however.
Oh no.
We have received a tip-off that your ship has flagrantly illegal hardware that is flagrantly illegal for the race.
Was ist das?
Can I just ask? We know all the rules of the race, don't we?
We do.
And we would, unless somebody didn't know the rules or was going against the rules, we wouldn't have done anything.
Correct.
I certainly hope so.
Please go on.
So you
what have we been accused of?
I cannot reveal that. I just have to make some scans of your ship.
This will be the Ferengi.
You can't tell us who's accusing us of this?
No, according to the rules of the race, that is
Confidential.
confidential information.
Ferengi. They've probably tried the novel
It
the
doesn't
ship.
seem like very Klingon behaviour to
No,
not know
it's-
who's accusing
I
you
should
of
say here.
deviant.
I should say here. Although it's the Klingons running the race this year, it should be noted that the Stellar Games is an international organisation.
when
We
it's
have
on
nothing to
Earth-
hide. You can stand to your heart's content.
So when it's
And in
on,
fact, if you find a tribble on board, that would be interesting.
Or underwear.
so when it's
Or
on Earth, we're going to apply the Klingons with almond milk and see what happens.
Or
Yes,
roast
but-
turkey.
That's a long-term scheme.
Meanwhile, so the Klingon, the Klingon nods. Toreni, the recording officer, looks a little surprised.
That we're allowing them to scan the ship.
and nods to you, and then immediately pulls out his tricorder and starts scanning. Immediately, they walk off out of the room, and they start heading towards main engineering.
And they were never seen ever again.
You can accompany them, please.
I'll make sure
Have you
they...
still got your sword on?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll use it to protect them from whatever attacks them.
It'll be open engineering and all the triple wars.
Who's our engineering person?
That's right.
That's Ray.
Well, Ray should probably go with
Well,
Yeah, I'll go. I'll take them.
Okay,
both
right.
of us then.
Right,
All right.
let's
So
go. Engineering's this way.
Meanwhile, we're going to science the tribble.
I'll protect the woman
Okay.
from this psycho.
Right.
all right.
I shall science it within an inch of its life.
Okay. So
Hope you like the ship.
okay, this is happening at the same time. So what are you going to do to the tribble?
I am on the ship.
Well, as I
like it a
said,
lot.
blood
You do.
sample and then cut off some of its fur and actually do physical chemical analysis of the samples rather than actually relying on electromagnetic radiation from a tricorder or anything else of that nature. We'll actually do physical, chemical investigation
But-
using our Mark 1 eyeballs.
If it's all an illusion, you'll just be getting the results you're
Are
imagining.
they saying
you'll
something's
get.
wrong with the
This
engine?
is true.
This is assuming
I'm
the
not.
equipment's wrong and our
Kanelka
eyes
says,
are right,
I'm not
Well,
at liberty to
which
say.
is probably the
I'm
same
I'm
assumption.
I
with
do
the
actually
engine, so I'll
have
have a
the-
listen. See if I
the
can hear
tricorder
anything that is
being
possibly
under
wrong.
Okay.
level 1 scan, a diagnostic. Now, the
pay-
results
pay
aren't
point.
going to come
It's
in for
my
quite a few
high
hours,
concept.
so
Yes,
I'm
pay-
just
pay
doing
point.
this in the meantime.
Yeah. I'm not saying
Okay.
you're wrong. I'm just saying
Fate,
No, it's an obvious point,
Yeah.
yeah.
using the
we don't know what
aspect,
we're doing.
Yes.
basically, I think the aspect can do whatever the GM says it can do.
Okay.
But in this context,
I hope so. That'd be
in this
good.
context, I'm quite happy to call it that Ray knows absolutely everything that's going on in the ship.
Yep.
And although it's kind of in its powered down mode, as far as he can tell, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the impulse engines, which are operating at or above spec at all time in all ways. The warp core is just like it always is, which is it's there's a little pile of manuals over in the corner of the warp core holding it up.
Yep.
It's not in terribly good shape, but it's what it normally is.
Tango Row to Captain.
Do we actually have manuals in Star Trek? I suppose we do, but yeah.
Report?
You're supposed to go beep.
It did.
Oh,
Didn't you
okay.
hear it? I'll hit it again. Hit it. Tango Row to Captain. The engine's a sweet ass, bro.
Aren't you guys with the Klingons?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the
Kanelka
engine
is-
room with
So
the
what
Klingon.
Kanelka is
you're
meanwhile-
reporting to me that nothing is wrong?
Nope. Nothing's wrong with
And
the
they found
engines.
nothing.
I don't believe so, Captain.
The
Everything's good.
Klingons are.
No, I listened to the engines.
No,
The
Captain,
engines-
don't listen to him. They're
Meanwhile-
scanning him as we
The
speak.
Klingons-
engines told me nothing was wrong, Captain.
The
Everything's
Klingons
good.
are looking at you as if you're hard of thinking, and meanwhile, they've been continuing to scan, and they say we will need to go and see the main scanning array next.
Sure, I turn and face their warp core, and I sing it a traditional New Zealand song to soothe it. Help! Hey!
Your character will
And New Zealand was famous for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts as good role playing, but it's awesome anyway.
Wait, from a fate point.
Have a damn fate point.
I think it was my idea, but never mind.
Yeah, I think
Then
while
you
he's
get a
busy,
fake
your
point.
character's going to have to take him to the sensor array.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so
Well,
you take them to the sensor array. You notice that it's mostly Torreni doing the scanning, even though it is Kanelka whose authority it is.
Yeah, she's in charge and he's tech.
So,
This is your chance to hit on her.
What? Of course, she'd find me attractive. Well, I'm very handsome, and I've got my jingles on.
Jandals?
I forgo women. To
Don't you
keep
keep them in the
myself
chili
pure.
bun?
Nope. The chili.
Keep genders in the chili.
No, why would you put my jingles in the chili bin? Why? What are you thinking? What a freak are you?
Okay, meanwhile,
Me.
so this referee and the Klingon sidekick are scanning the modifications you have just made in the primary sensor array. And Kanelka looks at her list on a pad and says, "All right, we would like to see your weapons array now."
I don't think we even modified that. Yep, I'll just take them. Yep.
Sure, you should.
Off to
Go.
the weapons
Off to
array.
the weapons array.
I'm very proud of these.
It's like a tour of the ship. Let's go. Let's see everything.
And then we'll show them our code books.
So what
We've been audited.
what were you doing with the tribble? You were going to
Oh, God.
try and do some old-fashioned
He took some blood from it and he took some
hair samples?
hair samples. Now, the
I was
blood.
just thinking
What
whether
have
me
you
as a
done?
science officer should actually be
Yes, you probably should be helping
Probably.
me out.
You're there as well.
Yeah.
The three of us are there
It's a
doing it.
degree from the original.
In fact, you can probably think of some things they really should be doing with the tribble.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You mean you haven't encountered in the wild creatures
It's-
that cannot be photographed or?
Yes, so it has no electromagnetic signal and yet it's somehow physically here. I don't understand what the hell's happening whatsoever. Here's the
Okay.
thing. Here's the thing. All right. If it exists in reality, right? If it exists in reality, then chemical reactions involving part of its substance should be able to happen.
That's what section. That's what the
Yeah.
Vulcan
Hang on.
is suggesting.
Hang on. If it exists in reality, it takes up space.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
currently.
we can displace some air or some
Yes.
liquid.
That is
with
also
chemical.
something Saxon already suggested.
Oh, he's already suggested that. Sorry.
Sorry.
He's trying hard not to look smug right now.
We eventually caught up, Jackson.
So yeah,
I roll a 1 on academic. Is this the point where he actually thinks, hold up a mirror. Can we see it in the mirror?
I think that's a good idea.
You can see it in the mirror just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, that might be because we think we can see it.
But don't have the blood tests that you're doing.
Well, what's the result of the blood test?
Yes, when you do the blood test, you look at the blood and the microscope, and the blood is consistent with Polygeminus rex, the common tribble.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of is that salt vampire that made itself look like whatever it wanted to
Yeah,
do.
but that was real.
And I'm
But
going
you
to throw
could
you
also
Yeah,
tell
I
it was
know.
throw your bone here. The DNA you get when you do the DNA sample and you just look at the
Slide.
the
Yep.
slide, it is precisely the DNA that you would expect from a typical Polygeminus rex.
Precisely.
Precisely, it's almost suspicious.
when
Sorry,
you
it
apply
has the normal
chemicals
genes that you'll see.
to the blood, doesn't do stuff to
I was
the
about
blood.
to say what I wanted to do was actually get some physical substance of it and cause a chemical reaction with something else
Yes.
that we know physically exists, thus proving its physicality.
You can spin down the blood and get some serum, yeah?
Yes, but could we then add a reagent to it to cause
Yes,
a
you
reaction?
You can use a normal factor determining.
Bicarbonate soda and make
To,
it like
to be honest,
fudge
to
or
read the
something.
DNA, look, I don't know how they're going to do it
And
in the
what
23rd
happens?
century or whatever century we're
Yeah.
in, but presumably it still will involve some kind of chemical in our
Yeah,
reaction.
and what
to do
happens?
it.
Yep. And you got the normal.
So
You did because you wanted to do it as a manual thing. You did a gel electrophoresis, which takes about half an hour, but you do it, and you get a normal gel electrophoresis
Okay.
from a tribble.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take some substance. I don't care really what. Let's just say some hair, right? I'm going to combine it with a chemical such that it causes a reaction, which will have an energy signal associated.
Right. Yep.
Right. I'm going to get a computer to read off the energy signal.
Right. So you take some hair,
So in other words,
you burn it.
exactly, I'm going to burn hair and get an energy signal off it.
Okay. You burn the hair. When you open the container after you've done it, there is the classic disgusting smell of burnt hair.
Yeah.
It burns with the absolutely normal energy
signal of
warmth
burning hair.
of burning hair.
But the computer can record this.
The computer can record burning hair.
So now that's important. That's very important. It means that this computer is able to detect indirectly the after effects of the tribble, even if it can't detect it
Detect the tribble
directly.
So
itself.
while it's alive, it's somehow blocking everything.
So the tribble is physically. What that says is
Masking itself.
Yeah.
the tribble is physically.
While this is happening,
Which would suggest it's not a real tribble, but something else.
While this is happening, the offsider says to Kanelka, "I have all the data I need for the weapon system. I need to see their power transfer conduits now."
Oh, jeez. It should like everything. What,
And
she's gonna
Kanelka
crawl
says,
through the
Kanelka
Jeffrey
look-
tubes? Is that what she wants to do?
Kanelka looks at him and says, "Why do we need that?" He says, "It's on my list." She goes, "Well, it's not on my list. But since that's what we need to see the power transfer conduits."
Hang on, so the boss just said it wasn't on the list, and the underling said it was on his list.
You might want to suggest to them that they compare the full extent of the list and see if there are other discrepancies.
We're all in a cave watching a puppet show.
Oh, sweet. I love puppet shows.
You guys are with them. And you guys have
It's not
any
even
suspicions
who
about
could
this?
shadow puppets.
Well, I have a
It's
question.
better because
Yes.
I can make a duck.
Ignore the mad New Zealander for a second.
Is it the rare
compiled
New
this
Zealand
list?
blue duck?
Yes,
Where did this? Who compiled this
big
list?
teeth.
It is the list that we've.
Come get you.
It's the.
The bite your dick.
I'm sorry, it's very hard to concentrate with this mad Kiwi here. The anonymous informer told us that there were anomalies with this list of items.
And they gave you 2 different lists?
It would appear so. Says Cornelco, looking a little disturbed.
Okay. Let's just go to the conduits and see what there is to see then.
Cornelco nods and says thank you. And so you go to the power transfer conduit, and Cornelco is a little bit puzzled, but Tereni is scanning the power transfer conduits.
This is
And?
we're supposed to tackle people.
Supposed to like ask a question, I think. Ask something.
I can't think of anything.
Yes. By
So
the
they're
way,
finished now?
pardon?
So they're finished.
Uh,
Well, it depends on whether there's more things on the list and whether there's more discrepancies between
once
the lists.
again, Konelka says that her list is finished, but Tereni says no. We need to see the secondary array as well. Secondary sensor array.
Fine. I don't see any problem with that except for the fact that they've got so many discrepancies. This is worrying, but yeah.
I'm thinking I should contact the captain and say
Something fishy going on here.
there's something fishy going on here.
We checked their badges, didn't we?
Credentials? No, you didn't.
How do we do that? How would we check their credentials?
How will we check the credentials?
Well, she's got a pass hanging around her neck, so
Captain, maybe you should contact the port authorities.
Are you
whatever they
stepping
can.
aside to tell me anything?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll do that then.
okay. So you inform the port authorities.
I just want to ask them what about.
Do we
these
have
guys.
discrepancies?
I
and checks?
assume the girl's okay, but the guy's probably.
The port authorities say we have the race referee has sent his deputy to you for checking some discrepancies we've had reported.
And the person with her?
Say there are discrepancies within the discrepancies.
Well, we have, just so you know, we have listed Kanelka, daughter of Kor, who is the deputy referee, and she has taken her assistant Torini.
Is that who we've got?
Can you
Yes.
show me? Can you just send me some photos of them? So I know something?
Yep, they show you some photos.
And
They're the same, are they?
Kornelka is the same.
Tereni is not.
Torini looks a little bit different.
Okay, it's not the red, it's an imposter.
I keep getting them confused. So the one,
Trendy is
the
the
boss
outsider.
Yes.
looks right, but the non-boss
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
The
wrong.
non-boss looks
The
right,
non-boss
so
with all the extra
Non-boss.
items on his list.
Is Captain Dodgy?
let's get them off. Who knows what they've done?
I don't.
Have they? Been,
I think they're
have
just
they been-
checking out what we've got.
Yeah, but we need. I think we need to do something about the fact that one of them isn't them.
But why does the other one think that it is them?
Maybe they've never met them before. Like they've just been assigned to them, but they never actually have met them in real life.
I think I should just inform her.
Okay, I want to tell because I'm talking to the head
Yeah.
of the whatever it is. Yeah. This second one isn't the one with the first one,
It should be.
and if it's not,
That is troubling.
Why don't you have them send a security?
yeah.
detail?
Can you send a security detail because we don't
want to cause a diplomatic
want to cause
incident,
diplomatic. Yeah, that's right. Either.
But it's
we feel
they've
there's
got a
something
breach in
strange
their
going
security.
on. Yeah. And then I'll go down to where these guys are, and I guess you guys.
First of all, just ask him to hold where he is, just so you know exactly where they are, and then you'll meet them.
Yeah, I'll
there.
come down to you.
So don't let them go any further in the ship.
The Klingon the Klingon who's speaking to you on behalf of the port authorities says, yes, that is a very good idea, and thank you for behaving in the honourable way.
Right.
And
Wait
so
for the Klingons to arrive and see what they do.
there's a group of security officers arriving very soon. Shortly afterwards, which by the way, when you do the blood tests on the Tribble, the blood reacts normally to reagents that normally react to Tribble blood samples.
It's masking itself or something.
It's somehow like it got a field around it which deflects electromagnetic signals or something. It's weird.
Yeah, but then you would see the field.
Yeah, I don't get it at all.
It's clearly camouflaging itself, whatever it is.
By the way, does anybody have security abilities?
I would like to think I do, but
I
who
would
knows?
like to think that too.
Yes, I'm good at security, apparently.
Thank God for that. It's a wonder how you got your job.
I'm fair at security.
Well, hang on. Let me just say, because you're actually working with Kanelka and Toreni. Why don't you look up their credentials and roll on security? Because security also includes little computery check thingies.
3.
3. Okay. Kanelka's credentials check out perfectly. However, there is something odd about Toreni's credentials.
How odd.
They look pretty good. But because you're good at this sort of stuff, you can't see anything specific. Everything looks right. But you develop a sense for these things and you just feel something isn't right with his ID.
Okay, it's a little too perfect.
Can I ring the referee back as I'm going down to meet them and ask him if he can see if he can find the number 2 person, if they're in their in their room or something?
Yeah, like where's
Like
the
if-
real one?
Gagged behind the sofa.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know how would I know
Yes,
this?
when you explain your concerns to the referee is quite concerned. The referee does say we do have rather a lot of assistant referees, so but I'll see if we can find them in their quarters. He goes away for a short time, and he says, "This is strange. According to our records, Toreni called in sick tonight. He is down with Rapak Ungul."
Oh, not that's worse than freaking COVID.
Is that the same thing that the other guy had on the other Klingon ship?
Yes, it was.
And not
Can
good.
the science officer
That's a very bad.
quickly ring you and ask you to look that up, what that actually is, that thing,
Yeah.
and what causes it?
Rapakingle.
Are the
Ungul.
security, are the Klingon security here before I get there, or
They're just arriving now.
And do the Russians have access to it? If you can check that.
What about the
can I get? Have you
We are
finished the
innocent,
testing?
the ball starts. Smell this!
Oh, and you've rolled well.
+2
Yep.
plus whatever.
You look it up
thing.
and you chuckle. Rapak Ungul is a routine childhood virus that Klingons get.
Childhood virus.
What, they don't get it as adults?
Well, most of them tend to be vaccinated against
Is it like-
although there is a
the
thriving
mumps.
anti-vax
Yeah,
movement.
kind of like chicken pox or something.
It's
isn't it?
Klingon
You've
chicken
got-
pox.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
It causes a big lump on the nose, which they call a gorge.
Okay.
And it's not gorgeous either.
Can I meet the Klingon security
Then
and
it
bring
has
them
to be
with me
drained.
to this,
Oh,
to where
jeez.
they are?
You can.
You would.
All right. So now we go to where they are.
Okay, you go to where you are.
We're all
Kanelka turns around, sees the security guards, and says, "What is the meaning of this?"
Does it explain what's going on?
Time
Okay,
for
this is not
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
I
This is
wouldn't
not
call
Toreni.
him. I wouldn't
No.
call him blah blah blah.
And I'll show it a picture of Toreni.
This is some guy.
This is Toreni.
This is some guy.
Toreni looks stunned for a moment and says, "That is a forgery."
Also, can we put shields around him or something? I don't want
Yeah,
to,
you can block off the
transport
light.
off.
But
This might be a little bit extreme, considering that it's not a foreign. It's a foreigner, but not a. But he's on home soil.
yeah, but he's still an imposter.
The imposter. We know this from the picture.
We have a security detail of
At
Klingons
this
to
point,
arrest him.
Toreni slaps his chest
Oh,
and
no,
says,
it's gone.
"Pa, beam aboard, train choo," and he transports away.
Bye bye.
Well, interesting.
Now he has transported, which means
We can
you now
trace
have
the
a
transport.
transporter trace.
You can we can trace it if we can get someone into the transporter.
Where did he go?
Well,
That's what we'll
the
have to find out.
Klingon security guards say, "With your permission, Captain, I would like to access the transporter trace."
Yep.
And
Sorry,
What
that's
if,
your job.
what if they're a
that's
fake
legitimate.
Klingon as well?
Absolutely.
What if all the Klingons
Oh
are
god.
fake?
And after they
What
look,
if we're fake?
He
What
could be the innocent one, and everybody else is
What,
the Klingon security,
doppelganger.
what if we took the red pill?
Klingon security guard is looking at his tricorder, and he's saying, "Strange. The transporter trace does not belong to Toreni. It belongs to Katal.
Is that the Romulan
What-
ship?
Katal is the chief engineering officer on board the Pach.
The one who had that disease that they just said the other
Yes.
guy had.
So he's cheesy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if we're all in vats being used as batteries?
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Except
You've
that
solved it.
Makes no fucking sense
Yeah.
whatsoever.
No, that's right. We might as well end the
It does
you
actually,
asked
because
earlier in the evening, does it follow the laws of
Tribbles, they make you
thermodynamics?
relax with the noise that you make, and a relaxed person makes more battery power than an unrelaxed person.
But it's still, but because of the law of the conservation of energy, you can't like put food into a thing and get more energy out of it than you put in.
You can
Therefore,
So what's that captain of the other
If
ship?
it's the
therefore the
thing.
Wachowski brothers are
Clag.
idiots.
If it's the thing, you can do this.
I've
trouble
actually
is,
got some
the
characters
thing.
from
Can I
my
buzz
Legion of Super
You
stuff
can,
who
you might
do
want to talk to-
gleefully
I
So
ignore,
I'm going
in
to
fact,
buzz Clag and
violate
tell
the
him
laws of
I'm going to leave
conservation.
this completely up
Yeah,
to
but
you.
you-
I think
they're
you'll
far
deal
away
with this in
from
an
their
honourable manner.
But
Oh.
Please
Oh,
explain.
explain. Sorry, I explain,
The ultimate
and then I
form of
tell him
hand-waving.
this is
yeah,
completely up to you to deal with.
I am most displeased. I shall speak to my officer directly. This seems dishonourable. Thank you, Captain.
It does certainly seem
Yes,
different.
because I know Clegg has nothing to do with this.
Who could have thought that like an entire like species of alien, like right, don't all act exactly the same? That there might be some variability or something.
No,
It's
it's
probably-
Who
impossible.
would have thought that?
Probably not such a
I
bad
mean, like
idea because
Rhodians.
if
Rhodians.
he has nothing to do with
McClunky.
it, then he will do the honourable thing of reprimanding his officer. But if he has got something to do with it, you've just called him out. So it's kind of a win-win situation.
Yeah, but he gets
anyway.
to save face
'Cause-
this way anyway, so
Well, they both do.
yes.
Kanelka looks at you and says, "Captain, you must accept my deepest apologies. I think somebody has made a fool of me, and I intend to find out who that person is. I shall leave you now."
Back to the Tribble!
I didn't know what else to do with the Tribble. The Tribble's got me completely beflummoxed.
The Tribble.
Well, the Tribble is an issue in that there's nothing really we can do about it.
I'm-
we cannot interact with it with any of our scientific
I seem to be-
mechanisms.
I seem to be quite confident that it is a physical entity
Oh, yeah.
existing in real space and not a figment of our imagination.
What I would like is a way of upping the ante with it. Like I'd like to push it in some way to see
We
if
could
it
set
does
fire
something.
to it.
Because it's the only we have no other methodology
Why would
other than
you
what
do it?
we've
Why would
done
you do it?
to find out what's going on.
Oh, I
so
know.
when you say
I know.
push it, are we talking about more extreme
It
test
hasn't
to
done
destruction
anything to
methods
us.
of actually
No.
doing, or actually going to threaten it
Because
with,
let's face it,
triple
let's face it, you want something more extreme than putting it in a hydraulic press.
Well, I'm thinking of, for example, feeding it.
Sorry,
The one
feeding
thing
it
you must
or
never
feeding
do.
it to
After
something.
dark.
I mean, well, I know.
You
What I
can
want
feed
is
it as long as you
is
care
to-
with how much you give it.
If it's not a tribble, if it's something other than a tribble and it's pretending to be
It
a
won't eat
tribble,
triple food.
Give it,
we want to
give it
force
your
its. I want to
blood.
force its hand. I want to see. It's the only thing we can do.
Whether it'll behave
Otherwise, we
exactly
just
like
leave it in a jar and it disappears. somewhere.
wants your
It just keeps
blood.
annoying us.
So
Yeah,
what?
I mean-
Feed it and see if it multiplies, or show it to a triple predator and see if it goes. Yeah. Or,
It did.
I don't know. That's what I
The
can't think
it
of.
reacted to the Klingon.
Yes,
Yeah, good point.
in that certain in Star
Yeah.
Trek, there tends to be a thing where they come across these ultimate beings of ultimate power, and they just push it until it does something stupid, and they win. Or they at least find out
when
what
they
its weak
met the
spot is.
Organians, when they scanned them,
Not
at
real
least at first, they looked like normal humanoids.
hands came down
The
and picked us all up.
Organians had
Just worried about
considerable skills at manipulating the electromagnetic wavelengths that the tricorders use to actually disguise
Squire of
themselves.
Trelane, he's disguised himself as a tribble.
Take
Put it next
all
to
of the
a-
facts that we have gleaned this,
Put it on a
from the
harpsichord
Tribble so
and see
far,
what it does.
and our investigation of the Tribble so far, and
Because
match them with other similar things like that to see if it matches a pattern of other shapeshifters, whether physical or electromagnetic, holographic, or whatever, and see does it
How
match a
confident
pattern.
we are with shapeshift? As far as I can tell from all my tests, it really is a triple.
Which has anti-radar
somehow-
capability.
Yes, exactly. And I want to check with previous instances from whatever on-screen canon or simply in the back history.
It's not a
Is,
tribble.
is there something that this matches? It looks like something else.
Or it's a tribble that has been favoured by the
I
gods.
hate to break it to you,
I think.
Yeah.
but since you can't actually scan it, you can't get the computer to do any matching. But as far as you can tell, it looks most suspiciously like a triple.
That
Now,
is favoured by the
I
gods.
do have two thoughts, but I think we probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just about wrap up time for this evening.
Yeah.
But I have two thoughts. One is to actually if the scanning type devices is using electromagnetic waves of some description, right?
Yes.
To
No,
and
I've got to write down my
somehow
fate
that's
points.
not
Do I get to
working
keep
on
my
this thing.
excess fate points? Or
Then-
do I
Write down your number of
Then
fragments, yeah.
we subject it to some amount of electromagnetic radiation, such that it would cause
Ray
cellular
got two
damage
more.
or something, and see if it actually does cause cellular.
Like, say, a phaser.
Yes.
Set fire to it.
Well, we've already done
except,
that.
except
Whatever
that
the
we know
pencil.
that works. So now I'm really confused.
We've already phasered it out.
The other thought I've had is if all our
Got the
electronic
pencil there,
devices
John.
are connected together in a network, what might actually be happening
Oh.
is not that it's somehow magically resistant to electromagnetic scanning, but rather there's some kind of bug in the software which is stopping us from.
In that
correctly
case, in a
scanning.
few hours' time, when I get the results of the level 1 diagnostic, we'll be able to see that.
Those are my only two thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I just took your fate points. Did you write down how many you had?
No, but I know it was 5.
Okay, cool.
So I should write that somewhere.
So what we need is to get a real tribble to compare it to our possibly fake tribble.
Actually, it's 6 because I got an extra one.
Yep. Okay.
That's
Well,
what I think we're not going to be able to do.
As the slightly weary and hungover members of the Tamworth's crew retire to their bunks to sleep it off, the tribble says
Goodbye.
David, I think it was from behind that you.
and then there's a flash, and then Q
Just
says,
lean it over.
"You've got no."
Or just leave it where it was. It doesn't really matter.
No, it's not.
I'm not having
It
dinner
is not
parties at the
true.
moment. It doesn't matter.